everybody, and welcome to Hardly Heroes, where at the beginning of each show we must say something different and unique so we're not just repetitive assholes.
That's it.
That's true. My different and unique thing is that I have a penis.
My different unique thing today is going to be that I'm not going to say anything.
That was last week. That was literally yesterday.
No, but yeah, I said that yesterday, but then I went on a rant.
Oh, sorry. No rant.
This time I'm not going to do the rants, yeah. So
For Nick's unique thing, he's not going to complain today.
yes.
Very un-British of him.
True.
I brought my electric kettle up into my office.
Just to show me.
No, it's just I found it so useful, and it has like a loose leaf tea holder in it, so you can just put the loose leaf tea in here and just cook it so that the tea is brewed, and that way I can just have a hot tea kettle filled with tea right next to my mug while I play.
That's good, but I feel like you're overboiling the tea leaves if you're doing that, though. Are you not?
Potentially, because I'm not removing them; like they will just eternally steep. And if you were
a
tea connoisseur,
well, no, what I mean, I think you should boil the kettle and let it cool down a little bit, and then add the tea.
Perhaps.
You know,
but whether you add the tea,
what do I know? I'm just English.
I'm just glad you got a kettle. That's it. Yeah.
We're looking for improvements, not perfection, right? Give me a couple more years.
Listen, because I don't want to tell myself, but me and Fran were just talking about how you make your tea in the microwave. Actually, literally, like just an hour ago. And Fran was like, when Neil was here, he was going on about, we've got all this tea. I have all different types of tea. She was like, he was really making out like he's a tea connoisseur, but that he's making tea in the microwave.
I'm not a tea connoisseur.
I said I don't think he was making himself out to be a tea connoisseur, but she wasn't sure, so
No, we do definitely have different flavors of tea in the US. I'm not saying that's better. Like when you've got
we have different
coffee,
flavors of tea here.
Yeah.
English breakfast and just English.
I hate flavored coffee.
I mean, you get a good flavor.
No, because you've at least got Earl Grey and English breakfast, but we also get like chamomile and
you get the herbal stuff.
I like a chai tea.
Yeah, green tea. If you ever have a real chai latte, that's some good shit right there. Yeah, like with the spice. If you make it, like actually, just put the spices in the milk and heat it up.
Can I say that mimic was a very cool encounter, and I absolutely was not expecting it. But now, for the rest of the game, I'm going to be stabbing every single fucking chest with a dagger.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think one thing to reflect on that is that we were misunderstanding the open doors roll. So actually, my chance of removing myself from the mimic was a lot higher than I thought.
Yeah, he thought it was a D100. It's a D20.
It's a D20 for the open doors, yeah.
Do you have to roll higher than the number or lower than the number?
Number or lower.
Doors?
Yeah.
Okay, so I had like a 45% chance of breaking free. I guess I didn't have to lose my jacket, but well, maybe I would have. But I'll buy a new one. It's fine.
You'll buy a new one. It also does 3d4 damage on a hit and sticks to you. So the thing is that you only get one open doors check.
Oh, I'm not saying that if I'd known that, I would have tried to fight it.
Yeah.
Although, if I'd had my hand crossbow on me, we could have just rinsed it through the gates.
Actually, yeah.
I
think that
you could have plugged it through the gates. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think Pigeon doesn't wear gloves when he's lockpicking. So I think that there is like a bit more of a scariness if he fights a mimic. Because if his hand gets caught, he's pretty boned.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, I was thinking we could have cut Helmet's hand off, but I guess it wouldn't have been safe to do quickly.
Quick, man.
And
two, round.
But Neil, is Helmet could he have not removed his clothing? Like, was he just panicking and didn't think of it and just got eaten?
Well, Luther definitely, if we look at Luther's token here on the map,
he wears a coat.
He wears a nice big coat, right? You definitely have one. Helmet, I'm talking as I'm doing this because I don't actually know. Does Helmet have a nice big... So he also has like a jacket, but it's sort of... It's gloves and a jacket, but his jacket looks like it's buttoned or zipped or tied, whereas yours is loose and you can kind of come off of it. And Helmet got hit twice in a row, so he was like double caught. And I think at that point it was just...
Yeah.
Or no, he touched and then he was grabbed by the thing. Yeah. And so he might have been able to slip his glove, but I think it was too much too fast and he was surprised. Poor Helmet.
Ripperoni.
We continue.
Can I recover some HP, Neil, since we've travelled all the way back from Pittsburgh?
Not during the travel, since everyone's walking and horsing, but in Stromheim, I think you've had 1 night of rest, so everyone can gain 1 HP. Okay. Well, let's
even on horseback, you wouldn't recover 1 HP a day, no?
No, you're traveling. You think that riding on horseback is easy, but when you do it for 6 hours, man, like there's a reason that cowboys have that weird walk. It's because they're saddle sore and they can't actually move their legs in certain ways. That's why they have that weird stride and that weird look to them. Yeah,
I never knew that.
It's the saddle soreness.
How come you never see knights doing that?
Because knights don't ride on horseback 8 hours a day like cowboys do.
Oh,
and Europeans just don't really care about history as much as Americans.
True.
True, yeah. Well, it's pretty easy. You've got a lot less to care about, I suppose. Yeah. And history began in 1750.
1492 when Columbus sailed the ocean blue, sir.
Bro. Oh, okay. Sorry, 1492.
Are you not taught that?
That's European history. I know we will have been taught it. It's not a big deal to us necessarily.
Yeah.
As much as it is to you.
Just a guy going out and sailing, you know.
We don't really teach the Magna Carta here, so it's a little bit of this, a little bit of that.
There's not really that much to teach about the Magna Carta, really.
Well, the first time you had people overthrowing monarchy, well, not overthrowing, but limiting monarchy, right?
You guys should have never let them do that. Big mistake.
Is that what the Magna Carta was? Was that like the first sort of like Bill of Rights almost?
Yeah, it was like the first bill that basically said like the king is handing over power, right?
Yeah, it was a check on absolute monarchy. That's my understanding from a YouTube short that I watched last week. So don't take it at a lot of value.
When was that? 1215? Yeah. Established that the king was not above the law.
There you go.
The king's power.
Well, they are in the United States, so.
Right. Well, there you go. The Archbishop of Canterbury did it. Nice.
Ah, good old egg layer. Love him. No, it's Cadbury, not Canterbury. My bad.
Cadbury. Yeah. My mum my mum and her mum used to work at the Cadbury factory.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and the rule was you could eat as many chocolates as you wanted off the belt as they were going past, literally as many as you wanted. You couldn't take them home. Like you could take some home, but you couldn't just like fill your bags with them and leave with the shit. Like, but you were allowed to eat as many as you want, which was always used as a tale to me, like to say like. Yeah, exactly. Like that exact lesson. Like, too much of anything is a bad thing.
I imagine everyone has one day where they eat a shit ton, and then
first day. Especially like my grandmother was probably like essentially a fucking peasant at that point. You know what I mean? Like it's not like the modern day. They probably couldn't afford lots of chocolate, being Irish immigrants and that. Anyway, yeah.
All right, so we're back in Stromheim. You had a night of rest. You gained an HP. You went to find Helmut's family and tell them what was up. You didn't meet his brother, but you met his brother's wife and his kid.
I did also say to ask for Luther in Rusty's Hook.
Mm-hmm. You did.
If he wants to talk.
Yeah. Well, it's going to be later that night. Steel Team 5 is in Rusty's Hook. Chilling.
Okay.
I'm imagining a bit of a quiet. You made a bunch of money, so everyone's excited. Helmut's dead, so everyone's kind of sad. It's a mix
drinking
of
his
things.
heart out.
We've got to pull one out.
Crying, he's like, oh, and I could have saved him. Yeah, I could have pulled him out. I should have tried. He was just getting eaten. I got so scared.
I would like to make a charisma check to try and read Pigeon here. Is he actually being genuine?
Yeah, I think
in his sadness.
I think in the end, he is being genuine. He is genuinely sad. Out of character, I'm glad that Helmut's gone, but in character, I think Pigeon, he really does love all of his brothers, and he really is buying into the Steel Team 6 shit. So yeah, okay. I think he is genuinely sad, but he was also scared. So yeah, he's being genuine.
Okay, cool. That's nice. Well, I thought, I was starting to think you might be a fucking sociopath, so that's something at least. Okay, yeah, I mean, we obviously have a few drinks for Helmut and reminisce about the good
pour
times.
One out for Helmut.
Yeah, like the time he went on a date and a girl stole his helmet. And that's the only time I've ever seen him angry.
He was pissed.
He was fucking furious.
She was just dating him for his helmet.
I never did see that. I never did see that girl again. I wonder what happened to her. So, we reminisce about Helmet.
You're having this reminiscence when someone comes up to the table, and the person you've never seen before. You don't recognize them at anything. Give me a charisma check, Luther, because you have a higher charisma.
Boom, 31.
Yeah. You can give this guy the quick up and down, and he's not even a ne'er-do-well. This is just an innocent civilian who's living their life in Stromheim and has come to your table, not involved in any, doesn't have the walk, doesn't have the awareness that they're in danger, or perhaps they're too cautious of things going on around them. Their body language reads like civilian who is completely out of their depth here in Rusty's Hook.
Yeah, okay.
And he walks up to you and he takes his little cap off his head and holds it over his chest, and he goes, excuse me, the gentleman downstairs said that this was where I could find the people known as Steel Team 6?
That's right. That's us, buddy.
Steel Team 6. Pigeon says crying.
I elbow Pigeon, as if to say, pull it together.
Sobs.
This is business. That's right, buddy. You all right? You wanna sit down?
Thank you. He remains standing, though. My name is Bootsy. I'm Helmet's brother.
Oh. Bootsy.
I wanted to come and say thank you for telling me that he was dead, and for the thank you for the donations.
Bootsy, we were just reminiscing about good times with Helmet. You should sit down. You should have a drink. It's on us.
He tentatively sits down with too much posture. It says, "Well, I was wondering, seeing as how you're making a lot of money, and my brother's no longer with you, do you need a replacement?"
I pull Pigeon. I say, Pigeon, go get us some drinks.
Okay. I go and
listen, Bootsy. This. You're a good man. You've got a wife and a young daughter. This isn't life for you, mate. Trust me. Sit down here with us. Have a drink. You're not. I couldn't let you do that.
Eraser leans in a little bit and says, Luther here is right. It wouldn't be right to put a common man like you, who's got no sense of danger in the world, in with us. You might end up like your brother, but answer me this question. Why? What has made you show up this day and ask for this? And Bootsy says, well, I work hard. I live a good life. I do right by me and those around me. And I'm proud of what I've managed to scrape together and the life I've been able to lead. But the lot of you showed up one day and dropped more money than I've ever seen on my doorstep. And it got me to thinking, there's got to be an easier way to make money. If I could just work one job with you, make one, section of money that would do us for a year, well, that would be good by me. And I don't know if you do that, but I would love to make my life a little easier. And if that means working for the same people my brother was working for or with, well,
that's a very important distinction there, Bootsy, because Helmet didn't work for us. We all work with each other. We all work for each other. And Steel Team 6, that's a role for life. However, that's not to be said that you can't be useful. We work with plenty of people. And if it's just about money for you, maybe you could be of use to us. What do you do for work?
I'm a fence maker.
All right. You ever make any fences for anyone?
Does that mean he's a woodworker too, or no?
He does work with wood, but he's not like a carpenter. Fence making is a little bit, it has a little bit different. It's a less skilled job than a carpenter. Does work for anyone?
You ever go to the inner city or anything like that?
No, sir.
What about the nice parts of town around here? Well, not here, but Redcoat territory.
Yes, sir.
Some big houses?
Yes, sir. I work for a small company. And, you know, we got jobs all over the city. We go where we're told. We put up a fence, holiday, and go home. It's hard work sometimes, but we do it.
Listen, Bootsy. I care about you as Helmet's brother and your family. I really don't want you to get messed up in something that you're going to regret. This is an honest question. There's no pressure on you to give a specific answer here. Would you let us rob one of your clients? For a share of the loot?
Is that where that money came from?
No, well, I mean, not your clients, but it came from somebody's clients.
Pigeon returns with his drinks and will set him down.
Thank you, Pigeon.
I
slide a pint over to Bootsy.
I don't know if my clients have the money that you're looking for, but I suppose it's got to come from someone. You know, doesn't really matter who.
Well, we're not going to hire this guy and make him a member, are we, guys?
Sierra says, well, of course not. I mean, Bootsy, at least Helmet had fashion. Ugh.
There's no need for that, Sierra. The man's coming here cap in hand.
Yes, and there is a class difference, and we should respect that.
We're all lower class than you, Sierra, and you, Percival.
Hey, don't put me up there with those fancy fuckers. I chose this life, okay? The rest of you were born to it. The rest of you are peasant scum. Me? I'm a man of the people.
Yeah, he's not lying. Bootsy, we haven't got anything right now, but you should have enough coin there to keep you and the family ticking over for a little while.
Well,
what I'm going to do, I'm going to keep you in mind.
And if you... Of
course.
Well, what do you do?
He's a fence maker, Pigeon. He makes fences.
Oh, I mean, if you ever make them in the inner city, you let us know.
He doesn't go to the inner city. But yeah, that's a good point there, Bootsy. Maybe you can convince your boss to expand a little bit.
I don't think it's a matter of
the inner city.
Convincing the boss, sir. I think the people in the inner city, well, they don't need no fences. Everything there is nice and stone and not a lot of damage to it, and they work with their friends and clients. I wouldn't know how to get a contract there. We do a lot of work in the lands outside the city, though. Lots of farm fences, pasture land. There's chickens and goats and pigs. You know, farmers got money. They got stacks of hay. They got oats, alfalfa, huge bushels of all sorts of stuff.
Don't get bags of gold selling hay, Bootsy. I'm sorry, buddy. If a thought for you though. You know, we've just been in Pittsburgh. There's a lot of building going on down there. You know, there's a lot of someone like you, talents like you. These towns to the south, they're not as dangerous as you might think, and there'd certainly be a lot of work there for you. You know, with the money.
I got an idea.
With the money you've got, you could get a carriage. You know, you and your kids, and your wife, you could get down there nice and safely. Could be a new start for you.
Well, are you good at building fences?
Yeah, he's a fence maker. He's a fence maker.
Well, I mean, we could... Hear me out. We give him some money to start a business. We get him to go to Pittsburgh. Maybe he gets a contract down there, or gets a contract at, you know... I say the other city, the one that's...
Shirebrook?
Not Shirebrook, the other one.
Thornwood?
Thornwood, yeah.
Thornwood. Or Thornwood, you know, they're building castles. Maybe he could go down there, start building some fences, make some contacts, and, you know, just let us know when he hears.
That's not a bad idea.
We pay for this guy's job. He gives us a %, you know?
I look at the rest of the group.
Sierra has like leaned over the edge of the table and is like currently looking down the pathway at someone who's walked in and just like eyeing them up and down, completely distracted, not paying attention to the conversation at all, just checking out the local clientele. Percival is sitting back in his chair, just shaking his head like, what are we fucking doing? Oh my God. And Eraser is just sitting quietly, thinking carefully to himself, watching, and then like looking away and contemplating.
I mean, fence making. Oh, he's gonna speak up.
Yeah, Percival will speak up and be like, no offense, kids. We're not just gonna hire some fucker that we barely know and give him some money to what? Go around and just tell us if he sees something interesting? What the?
Well, no, he'd be
fucking
bad
bullshit.
Job. He'd actually have a whole business, and we'd take a cut.
And what if his business fails? I mean, he's a fence maker. He's not a business owner. What if he gets robbed? What if he gets killed? What if he just sucks at running businesses? A lot to making fences.
This is why we make a good team, you see. Yeah, you got to have a lot of different perspectives. Bootsy, my advice for you, mate, take the coin. Don't spend it all at once. Work towards something. You know what's best for you, but...
I mean, this guy's not even fighting for his own business. Yeah, fuck him.
If you got this far without getting your hands too dirty, I'd say that's a blessing in itself, and you probably shouldn't throw that away.
He leaves his drink half finished, gets up and says, "Thank you for your time. I appreciate it." And he leaves. And as he leaves, Eraser leans in and goes, "Now, Pigeon, that idea was terrible, but it wasn't a bad idea."
It's bad for him.
Yeah, I mean, he's just a layabout, but you got some outside of the box thinking there. Some sort of, I like the way you want to put feelers out into the world. Expand the reach a little bit. And that might have been too ambitious of a start, but that's the sort of thinking that's going to take us from here to here. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we'll actually find a guy who can run a business is just fucking broke.
Tell you what I was thinking, boss. No, I think this is quite a good idea, because I've been telling you about where me and Pigeon grew up on the other side of town. And we used to go to this place called Raj's, right? They did kebabs. And it's fucking sick. What if, now, because there's pitmen always going through this side of town, and wouldn't have to be here. But what if we set up a kebab shop? We pay someone to run it for us. We can eat there for free, so that's number one. We could even get Raj. Fuck it. We could go and ask Raj, but it doesn't have to be Raj. There's somewhere for us to eat. None of us like cooking. So we can eat there. But also, who eats kebabs? Drunk people who are up late at night. And they're the kind of people that have loose lips. They're the kind of people that are up to no good. We get one of these places set up here or maybe in the Demon Slayer territory or something like that. We check in with the owner every once in a while, see what he's got for us. We pay him a little bit. We get him started. Could be something in that.
What's the difference between that and just going to Raj's and give him a couple coins to hear him what he said?
Because, it'd be like our place. We could kick someone out. We could do what we want with it. We could close it down. We can make sure he's not talking to anyone else. You pay someone 10 gold. Yeah, they might tell you what they know. But if somebody else comes along and pays them 10 gold, they might say the same thing to them.
I don't disagree, but when you own it, you got to protect it. You got to manage it. There's a lot of responsibility. I'm trying to live that life. Maybe that's not the Steel Team 6 mentality these days. We're a brotherhood. We do everything together. But I've always wanted to put in the minimum amount of ongoing maintenance work for the maximum amount of rewards.
Yeah.
Hiring a kebab place. I mean, what if someone knocks it over? Then we got to go get revenge, or now we got to go figure out who did it. If we could do that, might as well open up a fucking fence shop, right?
Yeah, the fence shit. That's stupid.
You can't eat fences, number one. That's number one.
Or do we have
Number
problems
two.
Eating?
Yeah, we pay 100 gold a month. We got no food problems.
We've been putting money into the town around here, People know our names. There's some respect on us. We already, or at least I already, feel some responsibility for the people living in this area. If you had a bunch of redcoats coming in here, robbing some of the poor, hard-working folk that live around these parts, well, I don't know about you, but I certainly wouldn't let that go. So what's the difference if there's a kebab shop as well? You're doing something nice for the town. It might be nice for the people around here. Eat something a bit different. Can't eat just fucking bread and pickles every day.
Sarah leans in and goes, "That's right. Those are our poor people to rob. Those are our hardworking coins and their houses."
Right.
That's
exactly.
Right.
And the Eraser's
You rob
like,
them, you're robbing us.
I hear you. You can't just exist outside of the social order. I got you 100%. And you know what? The people that live in our little cul-de-sac, our little neighborhood, they are all right so far. We could get in better with them. We could, set up a little bit of a buffer zone, get some eyes and some spies, get the neighborhood reporting to us what they see. Because I don't believe for one moment that this shit with the Copperheads is done. I bet You got copperhead fuckers coming in every day or at least once a week scouting out the area to see what's going on. We definitely want our neighbors keeping an eye out for us.
And we don't want them telling the copperheads whenever they come round with a few gold coins, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's just, normally when I think of lifestyles, I think of knocking over kebab shops or making kebab shops pay us protection money to keep them safe. Not so much us investing money to get them up and running. And maybe that's just because I'm a casual, laid-back sort of man. Maybe I don't have that business acumen that you've got, Luther. Your eyes are big, maybe bigger than your stomach, but you certainly got no end of ambition.
Here's the other thing as well, is like, we need somewhere to hang out that's not the fucking pub 24/7. I mean, listen, I like Rusty's Hook. I like it here. These are our seats. The barmaid, she got great tits. The fucking beer is half decent. It's a good price. I like it here, but we can't be sitting here drinking every single day, 24/7. Somewhere else to hang out. We could hang out in Raj's. We could get some tea and some shit going on down there. Get a little smoking room or something. Somewhere for us to hang out. People will see us there. It's a place for somewhere where people can come and see us without having to be on Pitman territory.
Well, hold on. I don't think it should be just Raj as a kebab shop. I think if we're going to do this, we're going to want it to be a nice place that are going to get the inner city people talking and get them to come out to it.
Oh, that's never going to happen.
That's never going to happen.
It has to be for the working man,
Okay, right.
People like Bootsy over there, He's the fucking lifeblood of this city. It was people like Bootsy that took up arms and defended this place when all that crazy shit was going down. It's about time that we gave something back. That's what I'm saying. With Helmet dying, I'm really starting to see things a little bit different. I don't know about you.
This is going to cost so much money.
No.
Percival leans in and goes,
how much can it cost?
I got a thing to consider here, though. We built our lair, building our lair in Pitman territory. We might be able to get some locals to look out for us, but if we start opening taverns that essentially compete with Rusty's Hook, I'm a little worried.
Well, that's why we don't open a tavern. I'm with you on that one, Percival. I don't think we want to step on their toes. We want to keep things sweet with the Pitman for sure.
Yeah, but tavern, smoke shop, brothel, whatever it is, I'm a little worried, just a little worried, that if we grow too big for this little area, we're going to get knocked back down.
Last time I spoke to the Pitman about this sort of thing, this was actually before we joined with you, but they really liked the idea of us having roots here. Yeah, they wanted us to build our lair here. They wanted us to have a permanent residence. I think it's raising a good point, Percival, but we could bring it up with Grom.
Well, we could also just put it in the abandoned area nearby and start making it not abandoned. There's no reason that our base can't be in Pitman territory, and then we start carving out areas out here that is quote unquote our territory.
Eraser.
No one lives there, though.
His eyes go wide. He looks and he goes, "That's the fucking greatest idea I've ever heard."
I'm
the abandoned territory. We draw lines. We say these are abandoned houses. These aren't. We could hire some dwarves, or some. We could go get some slaves. Whatever. We could get some people. Maybe clear out some of these areas, claim them as our own, sell the houses to people who want to leave other areas, and begin just to we'll call it revitalizing the community or some shit like that.
Gentrifying.
We'll sell these houses to people for cheap.
Yeah.
Or even better, we'll rent them. And then if someone comes, well, when a lord comes, if a lord comes all the way into Pitman territory to take a look at their abandoned properties and finds people living in them, we'll cross that bridge when we get there. It'll be a problem.
Have to thank us for, fixing it up.
Yeah, I'll believe that when I see it. I like the idea, Eraser, but the lord who owned our house, he came.
He did. Yeah.
He doesn't own it anymore.
Well, fine, but he wanted money.
No one's keeping an eye on these abandoned fucking places, right?
Yeah.
It's true.
Maybe.
No, they aren't.
Pigeon, this is I was just telling you, man, that you got good ideas. I was just saying, that you got, magic brewing in your brain somewhere. And this might be it.
I know some dwarves. Let's get them. Our bodyguard dwarves. I'm sure they know dwarves who can come and start clearing out the abandoned area nearby.
To be fair, our lair is right on the edge.
It is right on the edge.
So
exactly.
we could just start with like one street. We could find a place to be the kebab shop. We could clear out a road of houses. Maybe that could work.
We'll start with just one little block, little investment. If it goes well, a little bit more.
Yeah, let's do it. I think that's a good way to use our money too.
All right.
The only problem is going to be when the pitmen are like, thanks for clearing this out, yo.
Yeah.
We're setting up, but that we'll figure out later.
Now, these are great fucking ideas, but we got some more short-term things that we need to be dealing with. So let's bookmark this. Let's come back to it.
Wait, last thing on that though. Do you think that we should speak to the pitmen first?
Yeah.
I think so. I think it's in, we're not hiding anything from them. We are working with them. We're going to be saying, listen, those places over there, they're abandoned. Nobody's making use for them. We've got some things that we want to do for the community. We don't want to step on your toes. How do you feel?
We want to carve out a little area nearby, and
yeah.
If you need help, we're willing to help you out.
All right, we'll park it for now. But when we're back in town next, I'll speak to Grom about it.
This is a good idea.
Great relations with him. Not Grom. You should talk to the lady at the Grimy Gremlin.
Fiona?
Yeah, as long as we're talking about pitmen, we got to figure out who these people are. Because I see Grom, there's Fiona, there's Hudson, there's Patricia, right? There's all these pitmen around us.
That's Terrapin down there.
Yeah. But who actually sits at the top of this? I always figured I'd figure it out.
This, boss.
Well, it might be nice to have some sort of idea. Like, is Grom in charge, or is Grom just an underling?
No way. No way Grom's in charge. I bet you I know someone who does know who's in charge. Barbara Ann. She might not like us asking though.
She might have been paid not to answer those questions.
Well, this is the thing. I mean, does she work for the pitmen? I mean, she's in the Grimy Gremlin. We don't work for the pitmen, and we're in the Grimy Gremlin, so maybe...
No one's never told us not to ask.
I mean, that Malchus guy, he's got to have some connections.
Mm-hmm. The people who are digging out our lair are clearly connected.
That's a lot of dwarves that you can...
Sparky might know.
That's good. We need to speak to Sparky, yeah.
Yeah, all right. Well, we got a lot of stuff to do. All right, there's a lot of work to be done. Tonight, though...
Let's enjoy the drink. Yeah.
We're remembering Helmet. That stupid, fucking, brilliant Helmet.
I tell you what, Helmet's made me think more about life in his death than he ever did with what he said. Which...
Going out to a mimic is a way to go. That's true rogue shit.
That's a good fucking story right there, yeah. It's a shame you'll never live to hear it told.
Member of Steel Team 6?
Yeah. 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 He didn't say much, but he was a good guy, He was a nice guy. I liked his
brother.
Bootsy's don't give him a hard time. Do you know what? It probably took a lot for him to come in here. Have a bit of compassion. You too, Sierra. There's no need to speak to him like that. Come on.
Guy's a fence builder.
So what? Someone's got to build the fences, pigeon.
Yes, and it's left for the people less fortunate in this world. We don't need to go around, oohing and ahhing and feeling empathy and sympathy for every, mud-kicking, boot-licking fence layer that there is. They've got a shitty hand in life. We have a better hand in life because we've worked for it. Law of the jungle.
Yeah, I guess you've got a point, Sierra.
Anyway, the night can pass. Now, when we last played D&D, long ago, we came up with a list of things that you wanted to know about. And we're going to go through this list in a semi-chaotic order. So the first thing is you wanted to check in on your lair. Not a hard thing to do. Your lair is projected to take until December of this year. It is currently the end of January. It's a year to dig out the lair. Yeah, it's a long project. And
hopefully it don't fucking stop this time.
Do we
they only stop for 2 weeks,
That's not too bad.
Are we important question. Are we hand waving the skeleton pit, or are we going to have to collect the skeletons ourselves?
We'll cross that bridge when we get there.
Okay, I'm not dropping the skeleton pit. That's like integral.
Be in there,
that's integral for me. Yeah.
That's our mimic.
Yes.
That's our mimic for sure. Yeah.
Yes. But the builders will tell you, you can't capture the skeletons before you get the pit done. So once the skeleton pit's done, then they'll talk about finding the monsters.
Okay.
That's going to be the best way to interrogate people is you put them like on a plank into the skeleton pit.
Or in a cage that you can lower down. Yeah, man. That's fucking sick.
Okay, yeah. Sorry.
No, these are good things.
We could have cages that we hang from above that are just high enough that the skeletons can just about get their little fingies on your feet, but can't ever get you. And we just
put a
keep you in there for a week.
And also tell them like you're gonna turn into a skeleton just like that person.
That's gonna be you, yeah.
Yeah, that's gonna be you.
Oh man, so cool.
All right. So that's the status of the lair. It's in the end of January right now. It's going to take until December to finish, if all goes well.
Okay.
Next up is this iron scrap that you got.
Yeah.
Now, when you go to look at the iron scrap, when you take the time to sift through it, this iron is clearly foreign. You'll find like a sword that's like bent and broken, but like there's a family crest on the sword, which none of you recognize. And there'll be some writing, which doesn't look Eridonian, doesn't look Mystrian, doesn't look Drakisian, doesn't look Akuban. Yeah, and you're like, this is proper foreign iron scrap. And there's also things like hammers that are made out of iron. And iron here in Arcadia is so valuable because it's such a rare commodity that no one would waste their time making an iron hammer unless they were, super wealthy or they specifically needed that material. So you're looking at all of this scrap, and it is scrap. It's like shit that's you wouldn't fix.
Can Nick make an appraisal check?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm also thinking that maybe we don't just sell this to a blacksmith, and maybe we have some armor made out of it.
We're rogues. We don't really need armor, man.
Yeah,
I wouldn't mind a chain shirt.
Appraisal check.
Yeah. 22.
Okay. That's it.
So, what you know about appraising and about moving goods at this point is that if you took this to a smith, like people sometimes trade iron as a weight. Usually you prefer coins, but a smith would have to take this and melt it down and turn it into like blocks or coins. And so you're not going to be able to sell it to a smith for its full value. You'd probably get like half value selling to a smith or something like that. Because also most smiths don't need a supply of iron. Like, what's a good example? No one's going to come to your house and say like, hey, do you want to buy like, 50 reams of paper, even if you have an at-home printer? Because like, well, I don't need 50 reams of paper right now, so I'm not going to buy it until I need it. So a lot of people won't pick the stuff up ahead of time. But you also know that you could probably sell it to Hudson, who might be able to move it or get a better deal for it. And then you could probably get it all in one go rather than trying to like go piecemeal from blacksmith to blacksmith, like selling off a little bit at a time.
Well, here's what I'm thinking. Maybe not armor then. What if we get 6 daggers made out of iron with a specific design on them, and we say to the blacksmith like, we'll give you all of this. We just want the daggers. We want the daggers back, and we want them made to a high quality. And I'll get a short sword as well. We could do something like that. It might be quite cool to have some iron daggers.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah.
You can definitely do that. There are going to be fewer smiths who work with iron because most people are working with brass or bronze. There are in the city. There definitely are. If you were in the boondocks, you would probably have to go to this city to get it. There's someone here that can do that for you. It'd be an order. You'd come back in weeks or months, depending on their workload, to get it filled. If that's the only person who can do that would be, out of reach from you, you can find a contact to make this stuff happen. 100% doable. You have the iron on hand. You'll have to pay money for the work, but it's definitely doable.
Well, yeah, but the spare iron is probably enough payment, is what I would think. Because 6 daggers is barely any iron, really.
How much do we think we could sell this to Hudson for with his appraisal?
Well, you can go talk to her right now. She's just upstairs.
Oh. Yeah, but what do I think, though? What do I think it's worth?
You could probably one pound of iron is worth 2.5 pounds of silver. If it were in coins.
And how much is 2.5 pounds of silver in coins?
Well, each pound is 50 coins, so 125. So a pound of iron is 125 silver.
That's like 10
okay.
gold?
12 gold, yeah.
12 gold?
Yeah.
And how many pounds do we have?
100 pounds.
100 pounds.
It's like 1,000 gold.
Yeah, it's like 1,000 gold. Wait, I'm kind of thinking,
there's all these symbols on it and stuff. Maybe Barbara Ann would be interested. We could show her a hunk.
She might be interested. I mean, like, she might have the
Just
context to know where it's come from. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. We need to show
it's
her a
worth
pile of
more
scrap.
than just the scrap iron it is.
I shrug.
We could. All right, I pull out that sword, Neil, the broken shaft of the sword, and one of those hammers. They're the two things you explained, and I feel like, to me, the explanation of those two things was enough to paint a story of where this might have come from. So I'll take those two things and put them in my bag so that I can show them to Barbara Ann.
Okay.
The next time, because we want to debrief on what we saw in.
Agreed.
Pete's
we want to
bag
sell
anyway.
her info too.
So I'm putting on my character sheet.
I have all of those just miscellaneous scraps of parchment that I collected from the
Right, we're going to get to those
heist.
too.
Oh, sweet. Okay.
Yeah. So the iron scrap, you could probably sell it to a blacksmith piecemeal, like going from blacksmith to blacksmith, selling each one for 2 silver. Each pound of iron for 2 pounds of silver instead of the 2.5. But you probably wouldn't be able to sell that much going around the city doing that.
Yeah.
If you went to someone like Hudson, you could probably sell a pound of iron for like 1.2, 1.5 pounds of silver. Like you would get a worse deal, but you could move all of it very quickly, you expect.
I think the dagger idea is cool, Nick, if they're not worth anything
And
for
then-
Barbara Ann.
Of course,
Yeah.
you can do the dagger.
Well, we
You
probably don't need to give all of that iron. If it's worth 1,000 gold, I don't think we need to give all of it to pay for the making of some daggers.
No,
But
we'll just pay them for their
yeah.
skill.
Okay, so if we get the 6 daggers, we can give the 6th one to whoever we bring on board as part of that ceremony.
And let's just keep the rest of the iron. We'll just pay them, and we'll keep the rest in case we need to make more daggers or we want to make something else. It's
I'd like
material.
a short sword as well.
Yeah, make a short sword and some daggers.
Okay, I think that's good. Does anyone else want anything made?
Well, let's talk to Barbara Ann, obviously, first. But yeah.
Okay. Yeah,
I don't need
let's go.
I don't need
Yeah.
a chain. Yeah.
Generally speaking, I think you can, if you bring a dagger weighs a pound, so we're going to say it's a pound of iron to make. If you give a blacksmith 2 pounds of iron, you can probably get one of them turned into a dagger, and the other pound will cover the cost, which means if my math is right here, that means it would cost about 12.5 gold to get that dagger made, which, since blacksmithing is a lot more rare, I think a dagger normally costs like 2 or 3 gold, so 5 times as much is
Okay.
about right.
What about the short sword? Would you be doubling the iron cost as well for that? Like if we just 6 daggers is 12 pounds of iron, material and cost.
Yeah.
A short sword I think weighs. I've got 4 pounds down here.
I also want to know what my jewelry box. Ooh, hold
Your
on.
short sword should only be 2 pounds.
Oh, okay, nice.
Nick, also, we could use this iron for construction of our lair. We need some chains made. We need, certain things like that.
It's wasted on chains, isn't it?
What do you usually make chains out of here? Bronze?
Bronze, yeah.
Bronze.
Yeah.
brass.
If it's wasted, then fuck it. Yeah.
Because iron weapons gives us a
You could make
plus
an
1
iron door.
to hit, right, Neil? Against
plus 1
copper
against, Yeah, against metal armors, non-iron metal armors, metal weapons are at +1.
Okay.
Similarly, metal armors are at +1 AC to
Bronze weapons.
Yeah.
Okay. Then yeah,
So
they're
that's pretty
definitely
good.
worth me. +1 is huge.
It's only against people in armor, though. If they're unarmored,
Yeah.
Neil, I assume that you
Correct.
wouldn't get it.
Right. It's just that the metal type is so much better, so much stronger that it'll
Pierce
you
a little
understand
bit.
what
Yeah.
I'm saying.
Yeah.
No, so definitely
would,
6 daggers, 1 short sword.
Would the short sword also be 1 pound of silver, 1 pound of iron cost to make?
I am doing the math right now on that. The short sword.
I'm thinking if I should get my lockpicking tools made out of iron.
I don't
think it matters.
I don't think it'd give you an advantage, would it?
Probably not.
Oh man, I was reading the Thieves Handbook before.
Yeah.
There's a thing in there for lockpicks, which is like a hand warmer. It's like a little oil lamp that you can light to warm your hands up, like if you're in like a really cold situation, because otherwise. And I thought you'd have to be playing D&D with Neil to be in a situation where he's like, listen, you can't pick the lock, it's too cold. Your hands are numb. Listen, sorry.
That is perfectly sensible. I stand by that.
I think that's awesome. Yeah, we should get one.
Yeah, you should get one. Yeah.
I'm gonna need a hand warmer soon.
Okay. So if they don't, it'll be 85 gold if you give them the iron to make a short sword.
Mm-hmm.
85 gold just for the labor.
Just for the labor, because blacksmiths are a lot more. 12 for a dagger. Yes.
That seems kind of crazy. Why would it be like 7 times more?
Well, first off, it's twice as much material, and then the short sword is just a more complicated tool to make. A dagger is rather small. A short sword, by the time you're making it out of iron, like you want a well-balanced short sword. You're going to need to make sure that the steel is homogeneous throughout. The larger makeup of it, the costs go exponential. Yeah. So, 85 gold.
So which what
is
okay? Let's just pay in gold.
Let's pay in silver. Let's pay in silver.
Okay, let's pay in silver. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we need 6 pounds of iron for the daggers and 2 pounds of iron for the short sword. So we only need to give up 8 pounds of iron. Is that right, Neil?
Yes.
Okay. There's no like extra like he needs excess. So he just melts it down. We'll make it.
Correct. Yeah.
It's 12.5 gold per dagger or 12.
Yeah, 125 silver per dagger times 6 plus
times
850 silver for the
50. So 1600 silver. I'll take that off the character sheet.
Okay, and I'm gonna take off the 14 pounds of iron.
Well, let's not do it yet because we're gonna talk to Barbara Ann about it, but I doubt it's gonna be worth anything to her.
She's not gonna want the iron.
I agree. So
yeah, I'm taking
off. Fuck it.
I'm taking off 14 pounds of iron, and you've just taken off 1600 silver.
Yep.
Okay.
We're at 12,782 silver.
So Neil, can we get that made?
No, hold on. The silver, you only need to spend 850 silver. The daggers were paid for with the iron scrap.
No, we don't want to do that.
Well, then you don't need to take off 14 pounds. You only need to take off 8 pounds.
Okay.
Yeah, just take off 8 pounds. So 1,600 silver, correct?
1,600 silver, and then minus 8 pounds of iron.
That's off.
Done.
We're good.
Okay. That will be ready. I'm just going to put it on a calendar. It'll take about a month. A short sword takes 5 days to make. A dagger takes 1 day to make. So that's 11 days of labor. So 41 days from now, that should be ready.
Cool.
I would I bring up to the group that one of the daggers should have some sort of marking on it that makes it first among equals. That's a racist dagger.
Can we put one of these in, and I'll show you one of the, not the topaz gem, but one of the 100 gold ones.
No, let's not put a fucking gem in. That's getting a bit. I just mean like some sort of engraving on the blade or something.
Why not put a gem in it? Says Eraser.
All right, fine.
These gems. What else are they good for?
Put it in it.
Fine,
I'll hand him an amber gem to. I'm gonna keep a good eye on this fucking gem, Neil. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I want this guy not to scam us.
Of course.
For this 100 gold gem, so I will give Eraser the amber gem, and I'd like all of them to like be numbered, like 1 through 6. Do you think that's
daggers?
Fine? Yeah.
Wait, how does that? What do you mean you want them to be numbered?
There would be like an etching of like a 1 in it, and then like Luther would have 2, I would have 3, Percival would have 4.
I think that the boss, like there being a first among equals, is good. I don't know if we should start ranking the members.
That's fine.
And I'm throwing it out there now. We're all comfortable with Eraser being the boss, but when the time comes to take control,
that dagger will. Yes, it is.
No, the dagger will signify control.
Agreed.
So if we have control of the dagger, we'll be able to say then, well, listen, that means I'm the boss. Well, we won't make that argument yet, but that's why I've suggested it.
Smart. We'll put that 100 gold gemstone in there, and it will definitely signify first among equals. Because I think one day Eraser, sadly, is going to perish.
Yeah.
And I think we want to obviously hold the gang. No, not we're going to kill him, but I think he will.
Okay.
People are going to die in the line of duty. Yeah.
That's true.
Okay.
I took the amber gem off.
That was sick when he pushed that guy off the stairs there. His ear landed on my foot.
That was cool. He just,
Yeah.
boosh, you're gone. You're dead.
Fuck you, buddy.
All right. Well, we're also now at the start of February, so it's time to pay up for monthly.
Jesus Christ.
600 gold now?
Well, hold
So
on. If you're about to hire a new member of Steel Team 6, we should probably hire them first, and then we'll
hire 'em
include
first, yeah.
them in the month's pay. So, Steel Team 6, looking for a replacement because you can't be Steel Team 5. And you
We want
said
an elf,
you
a
want
halfling?
halflings.
I would like a halfling.
halfling, an elf, fucking, yeah.
No, a halfling. The point is that they're little, but I want to make sure everyone understands that we're going to be sitting around this table with a halfling. So we've got to make sure that we're okay with that scenario before we go through it. Because it sounds cool having a halfling to sneak through a window or whatever. But the day-to-day reality of it. No,
They're
that's even
small
worse.
too. What
You
do
ever met?
mean, Luther?
You've ever met a gnome pigeon?
No.
Anyone
but-
who's met? Well, has anyone else? I look around the group. Any of you ever met a gnome?
Percival raises his hand. Eraser raises his hand.
That's what I'm saying. Okay, so
Well, what about them?
the thing is, pigeon, they speak in rhyme. I can't even explain it to you. You'd
Not
have to
all
see
of
it.
them, says Percival. I met some gnomes who left that life behind.
Oh, you did?
I did.
Oh, well, that's
Okay,
okay.
maybe a gnome then. That'd be good.
Well,
They're good little tinkerers, gnomes. You know, they could make some stuff for us, maybe.
you put out some feelers. And I want to know what your criteria is for... Because let's pretend this isn't exactly what's happening, but let's pretend you had 50 halflings lined up. What are your criteria to, like, you know... How would you judge?
Sex doesn't matter.
Right, okay.
I would say
Wait.
they need. Oh, go ahead.
Are we sure about that? I feel like it might matter a little bit.
I don't think it does actually.
Steel Team 6 is all men. It's always been all men. I mean, except for Lemon. Yeah, I guess Lemon's
could be.
involved.
I think Steel Team 6 could use a lady.
It's not part of Steel Team 6. That's
As long as Sierra doesn't try and fuck her. You know, there shouldn't be divided loyalties.
Yeah, no banging among us.
Sierra, admit it. It's an
Nick, your mic's fucked up.
Yeah, your mic is super fucked.
Okay, I think it's probably okay now. I
Yeah,
just needed
yeah,
time
good.
to settle.
You're good.
I'd say to Sierra, if she's hot, you'll try and fuck her. That's a guaranteed, right? I wouldn't even hold it against you. It's just, you know, a leopard can't change its spots.
It's true. It's true. And let me tell you, boys, there's a lot of variation in size. You ever been with just a tall woman? Not like a big woman, just a tall woman. You know what that's like? You ever been with a halfling or a gnome? I mean, there are things that the other races have. There are... I wouldn't say no, is what I'm saying.
You know
Wouldn't
what,
say no.
Sierra? Write it in a fucking poem, because that's gross.
All right, maybe we can't have a lady.
I don't want to hear it. Thank you.
I don't think Sierra can handle it.
think it's right. And plus, I look around. I say, this is dirty work. You know,
Okay, but what if they're the best person for the job? Are we really
it
going to
needs-
turn them down?
it needs a man's constitution. You know, we can't just be having, you know, people getting all, I'm sorry, hysterical. You know, when shit hits the fan.
Well, I say we
This
keep
is
an
the-
open mind. Damn it!
This is the real world, Pigeon. You don't understand. You're too naive. The kids these days, there's certain facts of life that, you know, it might be inconvenient for you. And by the way, Pigeon, you'll try and fuck her as well.
All right, fine. No ladies yet. We're not progressive enough.
That's right. That's goddamn right.
The people that are murdering each other in their houses for gold and silver are not quite progressive. That's okay.
Makes
They're
sense.
hardly heroes.
It's not the ladies' fault. It's our fault. We just, you know, it'll fuck us up.
It'll fuck
our
us
dynamic.
up, yeah. And then
Yeah.
imagine we start rolling poorly because there's a lady in the party. Everybody's gonna be like, "It's that. That's it. That's what messed it up."
And the thing is, Sierra thinks that he's the one that's going to be getting his end away. And let me tell you, when I started hanging out with Pigeon when his mum died, I didn't consider that I'd be losing out on women. to this little fucker, but it happens all the time. So Sierra, you'd be surprised. Could happen to you too. And then what? That's going to cause bad blood. We can't be having it.
All right,
What do
all
we
right.
need?
But we're keeping
That's-
Lemon, right? That's nice. It's nice having
I look
some
across the group.
decor, having someone with some sense, someone
She
who
keeps
takes
the
care
house
of the small
nice.
things. Yeah, she keeps the house nice. She keeps the bed warm. She brings a certain levity and grace. You know,
I think
there's
Lemon's
a little
important still.
elevation.
I think we're running it. We're not running into things that we probably would be. That would be a bitch and annoying. And I think Lemon is actually doing shit on the back end. So I think we just keep letting her chill. She hasn't done anything.
Well,
piss
here's
us
the
off.
thing, boys. Obviously, we all handle our own expenses and all that shit comes out in the wash. But while you fellas were otherwise engaged in the Copperhead territory, I was solely responsible for paying for Lemon's needs, right? Okay. And there wasn't as much confusion because it was just the three of us and I'm used to paying for me and Pigeon. So I knew what she was spending. See, I don't know how to tell you this, guys. That bitch spent 100 gold in a month on fucking, I don't even know what, tea, clothes. That's a lot of coin. You know, we've got shit to, we're traveling around the world. We're buying horses and shit. That's fine. We're spending gold. That's fine. 100 gold, Lemon. You could drink in the fucking, we could drink in Rusty's Hook every day and not spend 100 gold.
I don't want to forget this. We do need our horse money back.
Yeah, I was actually just looking for that right now. Look, whether or not you think Lemon is a cost-effective investment, you can't deny, says Eraser, you can't deny that there's something nice about having a woman around that is on the inside circle. You know, there's going to be a time where we're going to need her. And it's going to be nice that she's been with us a long time and is loyal. And
I agree.
And there's something to be said for just, what do you call it? Living art? I mean, imagine if the only faces you saw at home when you woke up were these ugly mugs and Sierra's beautiful face. I mean, how much nicer is it when you wake up and you come downstairs and, you know, and Lemon's barely put any clothes on and she's making some coffee.
Always got a good attitude too.
Right?
Okay.
I'm just
fine.
saying.
We'll keep her.
I think it's fine. It's legit. I'm just throwing it out there about the 100 gold. But if we're all going into this with our eyes open, then at the end of the day, it's not, you know, it's not that big of a deal. She can stay.
When we're broke and we need to cut costs, we'll cut costs, you know?
Okay.
Deal.
Yeah.
All
All right. As for the horse money.
A male halfling. Oh.
Yeah, 55 times 6 is your GP that it gets returned. Actually, it's probably in silver. 330 silver. 3,300 silver. Thank you.
I'll add it.
All right. So back to the halfling. We need a male halfling. It's just the party dynamics at play. The boys, it's got to be a dude. It's got to be a bro.
Yep.
It's got to be a man.
It's just the way it's got to be.
It's just got to be. Anything else? Obviously a thief of some kind, right? Or are we accepting fighters and unclassed characters?
No, we'll take a thief or a cleric or a wizard, of course. God damn it!
What do we think about? What do we think about a fighter?
A fighter halfling.
A fighter halfling, says Percival alongside Pigeon.
That's a good point.
Yeah, not a fighter halfling. Well, we'll take a thief because we need them to sneak through shit. So we need them to be quiet, good at climbing, or we could maybe miss the climbing. They need to be quiet and good at hiding.
I think they don't need to be like the greatest lockpick in the city, but they do need to be able to. They need to be able to pick a lock because if they're sneaking in somewhere and trying to like sneak in through a window and open the front door for us or something like that, they might need to pick a lock or two on the way.
It'd be nice if they could pick a pocket too. So really, I need them to be very good at being quiet, hiding, picking a lock, and then picking a pocket would be like ideal.
I hate to tell you, but you're going to be picking from first level thieves.
Yeah.
They
halfling can't reach your pockets.
But you're going to be picking from the first level thieves. And after you put out some feelers, you get a couple of people that come up to you. The decision's going to come down to 2 potential halflings. The other ones we're going to weed out for personality problems. Maybe just like a little bit too cheerful. One of them, maybe he's got a
Annoying.
little bit of feet smell. Someone else is a little annoying. Someone else is, obviously not really in it, and this is just like a side experiment for them. There's 2 decent halflings that come up.
I like to imagine there was one halfling who was just like extremely, extremely dark, and just had a really somber look on his face and really cracked like really horrible dark jokes constantly. And we're like, oh, this is a vibe. This is
Bit
not
of
the
a vibe
right
killer.
vibe. Yeah. So he was perfect in every other way, but he's making us uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Because you don't want him to be too jolly, but they need to be a little bit. I mean, he's a halfling.
It would be weird if they were just like completely emo all the time, right? It would just be unsettling.
Exactly. Yeah.
So our first halfling is a halfling with one eye whose name is Goat. And
Goat.
The one-eyed halfling, he's a little
That's
bit
crazy.
on
Perception.
the slightly darker side of things. Not too dark, but he lost an
The
eye.
other guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So we've got Goat, the slightly somber, one-eyed halfling. I'm not gonna lie, that's a strong pitch.
Well, hold on. I feel like one eye, he's gonna be sneaking in somewhere and not be able to see half of the fucking.
True.
Yeah,
That's true.
that's the problem.
Yeah,
He's
but I
got
got
like
dark
5%.
vision, he says. I may only have one eye, but it's a fuck lot better than yours.
Oh, I didn't even think about the dark vision. That's fucking clutch.
Yeah. Okay.
And I
Okay.
got 15 decks.
Well, we're
I'm
gonna.
17.
I mean, we're clearly gonna do a competition between the 2 halflings. No,
Yeah,
like
I think a good
both
competition
pick,
would be good.
both pick a lock, so you can
Yeah.
pick it first. Both try and steal something from the bar, so you can steal it first. That kind of thing.
I'm gonna drop, since you're picking these characters, I'm gonna drop their stats and their thief skills in
Okay.
Discord for
Can
you
we
to look
can we
at.
describe the other one though as well?
Of course, yeah. So these right here that I'm putting in Discord are Goat stats. 6 strength, 15 dex, 11 con, 7 int, 8 will, 10 charisma, 11 perception. And
Okay.
his thief skills, he's teched into pick locks and hide. And then everything else is just, based off of his stats.
Okay,
So
not bad.
not bad.
Yeah, it's not bad for level 1. Yeah.
The other halfling is the very opposite of Goat. His name is Biscuit. And he's a thief, but he's also a bard. And he's a lot more on
Multi-class?
the jolly side. No, single class, but he's not a class bard, but a social bard.
Oh, man. Okay.
Yeah. And Biscuit, he wears bright colored clothes. He's a lot more fun and outgoing. He has both of his eyes. He wields a long dagger, very similar to a rapier, in both his hands when it does come to fighting. But he'd have to carry that on him, or you could carry it for him or something. But he's got some. He prefers a large 2-handed weapon, which for you is a 1-handed weapon, and he carries around with him a musical instrument. And
He's
he
got
likes to-
style.
He's got style. If we're looking at the map right now, we can see that he's a snappy
shit.
dresser.
Wow,
Okay.
look at that.
Huge anti-bard guy.
Yeah.
I feel like he's just gonna piss us off.
He
I
might,
don't know, man. I kind of like the look of this guy. He looks pretty cool.
yeah.
The other
He
guy's
might
got
piss you
one eye,
off,
Nick.
or he might, be able to talk you up. Speak highly of you.
true.
He might be able to lay down a little bit of
Make a
lore.
song.
Make a song, just be jovial. And he's a very friendly, gregarious, outgoing guy. Biscuit, he wants to be a people person, and he wants to hang out and get to know things. So that could be very useful. His stats are also, I guess the first one, they both have 6 strength. This one only has 14 dex, 10 content, and 11 will, 8 charisma, 7 perception. And his thief stats are teched into hide and eavesdrop.
You gotta go with Goat, Nick.
I think Goat's got the better distribution of skills.
We need his skills. I think he fits in more because he's a little bit more stoic. I really don't think the group needs another happy-go-lucky kind of bard guy. I feel like Sierra kind of does that a bit.
I suppose, if he's replacing Helmet, then maybe the more dour guy is appropriate.
I think
We do already have Sierra. Well, I reserve judgment. What's everyone else pick?
Sierra doesn't like Biscuit.
Based.
Sierra doesn't like him.
Yep.
Yeah.
doesn't really care about Goat, dislikes Biscuit. Percival thinks that Sierra dislikes Biscuit because Biscuit does Sierra's job better than him. And why do we need both Sierra and Biscuit when we could just have Biscuit?
Wait, maybe we should take both halflings and get rid of Sierra.
Percival also doesn't like Biscuit though, because it's too happy-go-lucky, and he prefers the colder, grittier, darker side of things. Eraser is actually Biscuit-pilled. Eraser thinks that it's nice to have someone with a little bit of levity and someone that you want a diverse skill set and a diverse personality set in order to manage all the possible things that could come our way. And Biscuit might be a little flamboyant, he might dress brightly, he might draw unwanted attention from time to time. But having a chatterbox halfling on your side, no one ever suspects the halfling, you know? Maybe he'd be valuable.
We've got to think about our reputation as well. Like, that Biscuit guy, he does look a bit of a joke, whereas one-eyed halfling called Goat, that's kind of badass.
Could we...
Well, hear me out. You like Biscuit because he's more jovial, right? What if we could actually put feelers out for just a bard? Doesn't have to be a halfling.
I mean, I thought we were looking for thieves. If we just want a bard to tell our stories, we could do that too.
We can tell our own stories.
Yeah, all right. Then I'm definitely fuck Biscuit. We want a bard. We'll hire a bard. God damn it. Let's get Goat in here.
Sierra's
Let's do the vote.
Absolutely. Yes, please.
Okay,
please.
I vote for Goat. Pigeon, you voting Goat?
I'm voting for the Goat.
It's 2 for Goat. Sierra, Percival, you're both voting Goat.
Goat.
Boss, looks like you've been outvoted on this one.
That's why we're a brotherhood. We do things together, and we do things by consensus. You all want the man named Goat? Fine.
Get the Goat in here.
We'll get the Goat.
He's no man.
He's no man.
He's half a man.
He's half a man.
He's half a man. All right, but wait. We gotta put him through his paces a little bit first. We can't just give him the job straight away. We need to wait for the dagger to do the ceremony. So I think we should lead him on a bit, you know? Get him to be like an intern for a while.
Yeah, I actually agree with that.
See how he handles taking orders.
We should do him on his first run, like our first heist, and then if he passes and he is able to not die, then he can join.
Because you guys didn't let us in first, you know? We had to go through some trials.
Tests. Trials, they got to do the bloodletting, they got to do the whole thing, right?
Yeah. Exactly.
Now, I agree. We do need to give him a test. We got to give him the loyalty test.
Yeah,
right. You all remember the loyalty test.
Well, and also, we need to see him in the field because we don't want him cowering underneath the table when a fight breaks out. I say, looking at Sierra.
I think we should bring
give him
both of them on the fucking thing.
Well, let's just give Goat a job.
And if he does the job, come back to Biscuit.
Then he does the job. He doesn't need to come with us. If he comes with us and he's a liability, it's a problem. Let's just tell him to do something dangerous. And if he can accomplish it, and he's not a coward, why don't you leave the planning, the what do you call it? The verification process to me. It's what I excel at.
You're right. You did a great job with us. So
all right.
We can outsource that to you.
Perfect. And that means please pay out 605 gold for this month's monthly expenses. You can pay it of silver if you want. That would be 6,050 silver. It's like Mouton's on it.
Minus 6,050. So we're at 10,032 silver.
Woo! It's a lot of money. All right. Next.
What else do we got to do?
Oh, whoops. This is not the right track. We want... next up is those scrolls that you found. Those scrolls. Now,
for the viewers, I want to just quickly tell them the stats of Goat. 6 strength, 15 dex, 11 con, 7 int, 8 wisdom, 10 charisma, and 11 perception.
And his thief skills?
His thief skills are going to be 6 in pickpockets, 11 in picklocks, 7 in move silent, 11 in hide, 5 in eavesdrop, 7 in climb, 10 in disguise, and 7 in forgery.
But so far, he's put his points into hide pick locks and a little bit into pickpockets. The rest is just his stats. But he's only level 1, so
That's right.
his skill's going to be much lower than ours.
Yeah. All right. The next is those scrolls. Now, you were going through these desks and you found some scrolls and you just grabbed them and you shoved them in that bag. When you get home, you go to unfurl these wrinkled scrolls, hoping for glory, and realizing that what you found was the stacks of paper that they were going to write on, but hadn't been written on to then be shelved with important things yet. So you have a bunch of letterheads, essentially, where someone has taken the time to write out a big fancy scrawl that says LMSS across the top of it and nothing else.
That's actually good for Eraser. He's a forger.
Yeah, what does that LMSS stand for?
No one knows.
Well, Eraser, you could forge something you could say, I don't know, payments that have been done in the past, and they could have to send it to here.
It's not a bad idea. They're kind of wrinkly and fucked up.
What could that mean?
Why are they so fucked up, Pigeon?
I just grabbed them and threw them in my bag.
Yeah, we'll make do with it. We'll figure it out. Anyone know what LMSS stands for?
Rack your brains.
Our brand does.
Harbor Master, Land Master,
Lord
Marshal? Master,
Lord Marshal?
Lord Marshal?
Something.
Isn't Lord Marshal the guy up in Fortune?
Isn't he that knight in Fortune?
He's like the guy in Fortune, yeah.
Yeah, you can't believe what you hear about this guy. We've had some fucking crazy shit when we were out over there. Apparently this fella's got and 2 stone legs. You ever say heard of such a thing? That can't be true.
Fucking ridiculous.
Yeah, people, people out there, they'll believe anything. When you grow up in the city, you know a little bit about the world. You understand a little bit about life. You don't just believe any old fairy tale that you get told. Peasants, what are you gonna do?
Fucking peasants. Believe in every little story.
They'll believe anything. Yeah.
Dumb fucks. Says Percival.
That's all I can remember. There was this one guy in a tavern. He told, the story that this guy told was just insane. There's just no way it could be true. He's just some old guy who lived in the snowy part of Drakus, and he's got a bit of a limp, and somehow that expands into the guy's got 2 stone legs, and he traveled
and a flaming sword. Says Percival. Yeah,
I got 2 cocks.
That's why he's doing so well with the women.
I actually met a guy with 2 cocks once. And you know what he said to me his biggest regret was? Not being born ambidextrous.
So that's all that was on the letterhead?
It was just a bunch of letterheads, but you do have, there were 4 desks. The first one had 6, the others had 4, so 12 and 6 is 18 LMSS letterheads.
Okay, I'm going to put it on the party sheet.
What is the name of the county that Pittsburgh is in?
That used to be... Ooh, which county? Was that Cliff County? Hold on.
Barbara Ann might buy these, actually.
Yeah, she might buy them, or she almost certainly knows what LMSS is.
She probably know. She might buy them. We might use them to forage. I don't know. I don't know if it's worth their time.
Pittsburgh is part of Cliff County. If we look at the big world map, that's all the cities that are along that cliffy area.
Okay.
Like Longcast, Kneecap, Tassel, and Pittsburgh are all part of Cliff County.
Is SS referring to ships? Is that a thing? Yeah. Is that a thing here?
It could be.
Is that a thing? Like, is that in our world, that's a thing, but is that a thing in this world?
Yeah, but SS stands for something. It's not just a random. But what does it stand for?
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Not sure.
Single screw steamships. It originally referred to single screw steamships, which is a ship that has one type of propeller.
Okay, so probably not then.
Probably not. Or steamship. Yeah.
What else we got?
All right, next up on the list is You wanted to talk to Barbara Ann about getting a monster manual and a love potion. You wanted to talk to Sparky about poisons. But before we even get to there, before that even happens, you're in Rusty's Hook. It's a nice day. You have just been talking and walking around with blacksmiths, looking at how to get this stuff done. You finally found someone and talked to their assistant and gave them some metal and some silver. Handed it off.
How many days has this
come
been?
Home.
Just on HP wise. Just
this
in
is
case
February 2nd. You get another 2 HP.
Okay, thanks.
You're back in Rusty's Hook. And as you sit down, walking by, which we haven't seen her in a long time, is Patricia. She's working here. She's doing her thing. And she comes over to the table and, fills up your drinks as needed and looks down at Pigeon. And just doesn't, you've stopped talking to her. She's stopped talking to you. There's never a breakup or anything, but you kind of went away for a little while. And when you came back, you didn't express any interest and you were cold. And she picked up on that, and so she pours the drinks, and she gives you that, smile of, hi, I used to know you. And it's a little bittersweet and sad. And then she walks to the next table over, and you can see some new up-and-coming ne'er-do-well. As she pours the beer, he pulls out a pair of gold coins, puts one on the table, and slips one into her pocket. And then, leans in real close, takes the one off the table, puts it around her waist, slips it in her other pocket, and then leaves his hand around her waist, his whole arm. And she sort of leans into it a little bit, and she reaches down and tussles his hair. And it seems to just be a nice, friendly interaction, but it's the sort of interaction you used to have with her all the time. It's right at the next table.
I just don't think Pigeon gives a fuck anymore.
Nice. I watch Pigeon notice this, and I'm ready to drag him, but to my surprise, he doesn't seem to care.
No, he just doesn't care anymore.
He's grown up. Good job, kid.
He's thankful to her that she saved him, and his, I think we've paid her back since then. But yeah, I don't think he cares.
All right.
He's just doesn't care.
It's done then.
Okay, good for him.
All right, we can move on. I think everything else has to do with talking with Barbara Ann. So I'm just going to roll for how many days it takes, because she's not always at the Grimy Gremlin. She might be traveling. She might have another job. She might be meeting with clients, doing research. Who knows?
We're going to talk
at this point, all of us going to the Grimy Gremlin is fine. It's no issue. We can turn up as a group whenever we want.
Yeah.
Nice.
Lucky for you, it's the very next day. You rolled a 1 on your
D10.
More HP. One more HP.
She's always there, baby.
Okay. So we go in and we order drinks. And I think as I'm at the bar, I see Barbara and I buy her a drink, whatever she's drinking as well. But I don't go and sit next to her. We just go and sit down at our own table. But as if to say, we're back. We were successful.
Mm-hmm.
Is there anybody else in this inn?
For you.
Yes, there are 6 customers here in the Grimy Gremlin today, aside from Steel Team 6.
I'll sit away from the group, and I'm just going to focus on reading people's lips. Obviously not making it obvious, but yeah, that's my goal. I want to get a little juicy info, and this is the spot to get it.
That's true. As you get up and go and sit somewhere else, then there's a space at our table. So I raise my glass to Barbara Ann and invite her to sit down if she wants to chat.
And this looks like a good cover because we wanted her to come over. It was a big table. Everybody just sent Pigeon off, to go sit somewhere else.
Yeah.
And I'm reading lips, baby.
Pretending like you're the bitch, but actually you're not.
Actually, I'm gonna bitch them.
Yeah.
So there's 6 people aside from the 2 of you and Fiona, who's working at the bar. There's Barbara Ann. There's Spade, who's talking to 2 friends. And then
Spade is the lead. Spade was the dwarf who's in charge of our building project, right?
Yep.
Correct.
Yeah.
And then sitting together at a table near to the bar, but not at the bar, is a cleric of Nadinus and a cleric of Martha.
Oh, shit.
Ooh, gonna read their lips.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
What are they doing in here? That's really weird.
That is. But that's cool that we got a cleric here. Do we need any clerical shit?
Do
Not that
a
I
kill
can
light
think of.
wounds.
No, we could use if they can make a light.
Well, like a permanent lightstone.
Yeah, we could really use a permanent light or darkness stone.
Well, why don't
that's
you
true,
do your lip
24.
reading? Perfect. Now, you can, since they're facing each other, you can position yourself to see one very well or the other very well. Sitting like right between the two of them is going to make it really hard to see either. So which cleric would you like to position yourself to read well?
There's Martha and Malchus.
Martha and Nadinus. Martha is the cleric of goddess of life and creation.
Life and-
Nadinus is nature.
Are they, and just this is the kind of thing you might want to think about. Not every conversation is 50-50 split in terms of who talks. There might be one person
Yeah.
that's doing most of the talking.
Is there one that is talking more? Because that's a good call.
That's a great question. Well thought out, Nick. Nick, take 100 experience for that. That's a
That's
brilliant
great, yeah.
analysis. The cleric of Nadinus is doing more of the talking. It's a little bit more of a chat.
I'll read hers then.
You rolled a 24. It's a great roll. So you're in this area. You go up to the bar. You know, you get a drink and you kind of stand at the bar or sit at a stool there, you know, sipping it for a little while, glancing out of the corner of your mouth. And as you pick up this conversation, would you like me? I can give you a summary, or I can give you a sampling of the conversation. Which would you prefer in this situation?
What do you think's better? Like, not gameplay wise, but like narrative wise. If that makes sense.
Potato.
Give me a narrative. I like that.
Yeah. So the cleric of Nadinus, as you start to pick in, is saying, and it's coming back, and I couldn't be more grateful. I was so worried, but you know, the resilience is astounding, and as soon as they're gone, everything just flows right back. I'm telling you, these people, they don't see, and then there's a little bit of, you know, cut off where you can't quite read, or like a cup is moving or a hand is in the way, because you only get 70%. And then it comes back to be like, and so I really think that's just, we should go to Thornwood. You know, let's see this firsthand. And then the other cleric speaks for a little bit, and the Nadinus cleric says, yeah, I know. It's hard not to attract too much attention, but I'm not putting my amulet away, and I know you're not putting it away. What we're doing is important. It's sad that we just have to slip between cracks where possible, but it's coming back, and it's all coming back, and there's still hope. I mean, unless there's another demon invasion or uprising from undead, we're gonna be fine. It's gonna be okay.
Okay.
That's interesting.
Yeah. And that's probably about as much as you can reliably get without like being too
weird.
obvious that you're staring, or there's only 6 people here.
Turn my attention now to Sparky the poison, Spade.
Spade.
Yeah.
Spade.
Here's my
Yeah.
lip reading check for Spade.
Oh,
32.
it's so good. Yeah. Spade, he's talking about, you know, he's talking about work. He's talking about this lair he's building. And it's not clear whose lair it is. And he definitely doesn't give any names or locations. But he's just talking with the other people about, oh man, you know, Strata, it's a fucking mess down there. You hit iron, or not, you hit stone, you hit something with just a little bit of metal content, just a little bit too much for the picks to start breaking down. Then you're always sharpening everything. When you get down that deep, it's a goddamn mess. It needs to be done. We got to get through. It would be nice. It'd be nice if the gods could bless us with just little bit better effort, a little bit better tools, a little bit more consistent of a strata to be working in. But you know what? It's better than being on the fucking surface. Oh my God. You know, there ain't no smells down in there. There ain't no chit chat. Yep. There ain't no dogs barking. It's just you, the vibrations in the ground, and the men at your backs. None of this fucking bullshit.
Is he being quiet or no?
He's not intending to lower his
like,
voice.
So it's plausible I could have maybe heard him.
Yeah, plausible.
What I'm thinking is we've got 92 pounds of fucking iron, right? He's talking he needs better equipment. What if we sold him the iron so he could maybe get some fucking iron picks? And he could use them in the future with his men. He could be a person to buy some iron off of us.
Would iron picks be significantly better than? I guess they would be.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, Spade.
Oh. What's up?
I heard you over there.
Nearby.
You got big ears in addition to big eyes?
Well, you're talking about you need better equipment? We got a shipment of 100 pounds of iron in. We could sell you some and you could make some iron pickaxes. Hell, we'll give you some too because you know you're working with us.
Well, come on over, Pigeon. Have a seat.
I'll have a seat with them and
might actually bring the date forward if we get them iron pickaxes.
It for sure could. So yeah, I will. Yeah. We can talk shop. They're gonna get a good deal, is what I'm going for here, Neil. Like they're working for us, so we'll give it to them for the price of what Hudson would do, which was pretty shit, right?
It was half price. Yeah.
I think we should do better than that.
We'll give it to him for.
I think we should say that RRP was 2.5 pounds of silver for each pound of iron.
Yeah.
Hudson said 1.2 to 1.5. I think we should go like 1.75. And that's a good deal.
Yeah, I mean, I don't care.
So you're talking to Spade, and what's your proposal here?
I mean, what do you think's a good deal? We want to give you a good deal on this. You know, you're working with us. We're friends. What do you want? We got 92 pounds of raw iron.
And I'll kind of explain how it's, come in. I'll go over to Luther.
Actually, you know what? We have to. Luther, can I borrow the hammer real quick? I'm talking to Spade.
Yeah, sure. I reach into my pocket and pull a hammer out.
And I'll go and give it to Spade and let him.
This rusty piece of shit.
It's full iron. You rework it. You can make it into a pick. No biggie.
I'm not gonna lie. I've always desired some iron tools, but they're expensive to get made. You know, iron's one thing that costs to make it. There ain't a lot of ironsmiths around. Blacksmiths, they call them? Weird fuckers.
One. They're working for us, actually.
And you just gift us this iron out of the goodness of your heart?
You pay a little bit, but we'll give you a fantastic price. We'll call it a silver a pound.
Or whatever the equivalent is,
Right. We'll do it 50 silver a pound.
Yeah, instead of 50 silver a pound, we'll just do, or it's usually 100 silver a pound?
It's usually 125 a pound.
No, it's 250. It was 2.5 pounds of silver for every pound of iron, you said.
Right, but a pound is 50 coins.
Okay.
Got it. So we'll do it for 25, which is just the price of silver, which is half off, which is a fantastic deal.
It's more than half off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's too good, isn't it? Why would we give them such a good deal?
I think we give them such a good deal because we're going to need these guys in the future, and this is just like cementing a relationship with Spade.
So you're telling me you're going to sell me this iron less than half its price if it were coins? What's the catch?
Yeah. I mean, you're working on just use it on our place so it'll get done quicker. And, we're friends.
I shrug.
This Smith, you said he's got something building for you, right?
Yep.
How far out is his workload? Because if it's going to take a year to get these things made, I mean, I got a year, but your place won't be done before then.
I'm honestly not sure. But, how many picks do you need?
How many pounds would he need, I guess, for picks?
I think a pickaxe is 5 pounds each. Maybe.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I think this is a good, easy way.
But not if you're selling at 30% value. Just get ripped off.
You know, if you don't think it'll help you do it quicker, then how about we just do 50% value? That's a great deal. Both sides make a little here. We get rid of the iron we don't need. You get some pickaxes, and if we ever need you in the future, we can call upon you, and you can help out.
I'll take that deal, he says, and reaches out a hand across the table immediately.
All right, I shake his hand. We did the deal.
You got 92 pounds of iron.
He's buying it all.
He's buying it all.
I don't know about this. We're selling it all for half price. Didn't we just decide we didn't need to liquidate it?
No, but they're going to get iron pickaxes, and then they are going to help us out in the future. I mean, if you don't want to do it...
Wait, you already shook on it now.
We already shook on it, yeah, so... What are you going to do?
So he will, I believe... Is my math coming out right? That can't be right. This is 92 pounds.
He should be getting... It should be the equivalent of 1.25 in silver. So it should be 92 times 1.25. So it should be 115 pounds of silver in value. So times that by 50.
That's what I'm coming. Yep. That's he will give you 575 gold. He does not pay you in silver. He pays you in gold. It'll take a day for this, you to go get the metal, him to get his thing, and you'll meet back up here tomorrow. And we're just going to hand wave that, but he will give you 575 gold.
Can we get that in XP now?
Yes, because this is 100%. So 575 times 2 divided by 5, everyone can take home 230 XP.
Okay, I'll add it to the sheet.
I get the hammer back for my conversation with Barbara.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Okay.
So she comes over to sit with us.
Yes, she does come over to sit with you. Thank you very much. I'm just updating XP for all of your minions.
535, correct?
Gold, yeah. No, 575.
575, thank you.
Perfect. Okay, yeah. Barbara Ann comes over to sit next to you as you invite her over. She takes a seat and goes, well, how are you boys doing today?
Yeah, we're celebrating. Everything went real well in Pittsburgh. Well,
oh, lovely. Good to hear.
We do have a spare seat now, but we're remedying that. We got a tale to tell you if you're interested.
I am. Of course. I'm always open to hearing stories from people who don't talk too long.
Well, we got there. We looked around a little bit. And
yes.
I'd have to say we were spooked a little bit by the knights in the two lords' estates. But we did decide that the harbour master seemed like a good target. And, we hit it. During the night, Pigeon managed to crack all the locks. We got in there. There was traps. There was even a mimic. In fact, you might not have noticed him. He's quite quiet, but Helmet, he got eaten by the mimic.
Oh.
Yeah.
A mimic in the harbour master's lair.
Very strange. Yeah.
It's very unusual. I would never have... Interesting. Did you happen to catch anything about the harbour master? Disposition, height, weight, name?
I point to Eraser
origin?
because he was watching him.
Yeah.
But Barbara Eraser, wait. That kind of information doesn't come cheap.
Oh, I see.
But we're about to talk about Shirebrook, right? So maybe you can give us a bit of a discount if I tell you everything. I'll
Just
tell you what we know
I believe
first.
we've already paid for the Shirebrook.
Oh, we already paid for Shirebrook.
Because
Okay.
we paid for it when we did the other one, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We could call it credit if you want. I know a few things that you might be interested in.
Well, be happy to pay you 5 silver for the information about the the harbor master you saw. He's not a particularly important figure and is certainly out of money and may soon be out of life. So he's not super valuable, but if you would like, I can give you 5 silver for it.
We don't need 5 silver, but there's a bit more information you might be interested in. You know, some stuff we found down there. Give you the mimic for free, but there's some other things that maybe might mean something to you. But I'll tell you, and then we'll call it credit, and you can just tell me how much you think that's worth.
Okay.
So we went down there. We hit it in the evening. Like I said, Pigeon got through the locks. Took a while though, like 8-9 hours. He was working on that thing. So we were on edge, let me tell you. But some of the stuff we found there. Well, first off, we found, and I pull out the iron hammer and the broken sword. We found a big chest full of iron scraps, but look at the symbols on this thing. This ain't from Arcadia, and no one would make a hammer like that out of iron here. I don't know where this has come from. But wherever it is, they had a lot of it in Pittsburgh.
Interesting.
Iron coins too. Maybe they're minting it.
Did the coins look new?
Can I have one on me, Neil, to show her?
Yeah. Roll me a 12 or higher on a d20 to see if you picked up an iron coin as you're making pocket change. Okay. No, you didn't take any iron with you, sadly.
I describe it in the best of my ability. I don't know if anyone else has grabbed one. Yeah.
Could it be race?
26.
Oh, okay. Yeah. You can describe it. They were actually very new looking, nice shape, nice rigidity. Looked like they were recently pressed.
Whose face was on them? Like, do they have the face of the monarch or?
They had the face of the Dracissian Empress.
Yeah, so it's new. Yeah, they had the Empress on it.
Sounds like the harbor master was minting coins. I might have had a little striking operation in town. Interesting. I will pay you some for that. Was there anything else?
Yeah, there is one other thing. I take out one of the pieces of paper. This, I don't know if this is you helping me or me helping you, but we grabbed a whole bunch of these and I fold out and smooth out the piece of paper. Not really sure what LTSS or LMSS stands for. Maybe you know. But we got a whole bunch of these and figured we might be able to make use of them if we can work out what they're for.
I can give you a trade. I'll tell you exactly what that means.
Sure.
That's Lord Marshall's shipping service.
Oh.
That's big.
And it is not the Lord Marshall who lives north of here. This is his father-in-law from Drekis.
Oh. Is he a big deal?
He's quite a big deal. He's made a small fortune and apparently has harbor master rights in Pittsburgh, perhaps other places.
Well.
Interesting. Now, if all this scrap iron is in Pittsburgh, that's not a direct access by coast. You have to get there through the canals. Why would you haul scrap iron all the way to Pittsburgh to strike it? It's a very out-of-the-way place.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
Where would they even be getting the iron, though? You think it's from Solemn or
She
Dardannes?
taps the... you just have the hammer with you. No, you brought the sword, didn't you?
Yeah, I brought the sword.
She taps the emblem on the sword and goes, "This is a Solemnese family crest. I know that the war continues to rage out in the seas. This may be scrap taken from battlefields, on islands, perhaps. Recovered loot that Lord Marshall picked up for coppers on the gold, brought back here, melting down and minting into his own coins."
But why not do it? I mean, presumably this fellow lives in Drekis.
It's an excellent question.
Something to do with his son-in-law, maybe?
Well, it's just one more piece in the grand puzzle that is life. Thank you for your information.
I hope you found that useful. And I got one more thing for you, but this is an important one, you know. This first part you might have heard. You've heard of this fella, Carlo Vallejo?
Yes, the former head of the Demon Slayers.
Oh yeah, he was. Never mind.
He ran into some trouble recently. You heard that he bit the dust.
Unfortunately, his light was extinguished.
Well, I've got a scoop for you. Although I can't tell you how I know. But I know who killed him.
Well, who killed him?
You interested in that? This kind of information's dangerous for the individual involved if this were to get out.
Certainly would be. Is it information that you are willing to let escape into the world?
I don't know. Depends who you were to tell. This individual is very dear to me, and I'd be upset if they, had the Demon Slayers looking for him.
Well, if you don't want it in the world, I would advise you not to tell me.
Fair enough.
After all, I trade information and secrets. If someone came asking, it would be my business to sell that information to them.
I understand. I give Sierra a little wink as the conversation ends. Okay, well, that's the rundown of what happened. To be honest, it kind of went off, the mimic aside, which is weird. Why would they have a mimic in there? I mean, there was traps and stuff. You think they'd just keep that there as a trap?
It worked. It almost worked.
I mean, I guess, but it sort of worked. It didn't stop us stealing the shit, but I don't know. The thing was very aggressive. It seems like maybe it's quite a lot of effort to keep such a thing in your own place of work.
Seems quite dangerous. Must be something worth protecting in there.
What do you mean, in there? What do you mean?
Why use a mimic to guard something if it wasn't valuable?
I'm telling you, it's a fucking magic carpet.
Wait, inside the mimic, if you kill it, you get the stuff from inside it? Is that how it works? Or do you just mean in the room with it?
Why, I can't pretend to know the mind of a man I've never met, and I'm not a great expert on monsters.
Well, I can paint the scene for you. There was a cage that you had to open, and then against the wall, there was 3 wardrobes. The one in the middle was the mimic, the other 2 empty. Oh, and there was a carpet that all the wardrobes were sat on, but I mean, I hardly think that's worth mentioning, and I say, rolling my eyes slightly towards Pigeon, who's not sat with us, but that's it. So there was nothing in there apart from the mimic, basically.
Interesting.
Maybe they were holding it. Maybe they were going to sell it. Is that kind of thing a wizard might want, or somebody might be interested? Maybe Lord Marshall fancies a mimic.
If you could move them and sell them, I'm sure there's a market for them. You didn't kill it, did you?
I wish, no.
Fascinating.
It almost killed me. They stick to you like glue, I lost my best jacket to that thing.
You don't say. Like glue.
Yeah. Very strange. Very strange.
Interesting. I wonder how you move something that sticks like glue.
Yeah, maybe you just ask it real nice.
Oh, I wonder if they even speak any languages. Oh, I'll have to look into this. Thank you for all of this lovely information. Now, I do believe you wanted a rundown of Shirebrook.
That's right. I think you gave us some detail last time. You said there was a cleric and a wizard there.
There are...
Pigeon will rejoin at this point, too.
Yeah. There are multiple spellcasters, yes. Not a cleric and a wizard. There is a man, a wizard, a spellcaster, who has resettled Shirebrook. Some fancy lord, focusing us on Shirebrook, some hero from the war who got himself lands and titles for some great deeds. He's come to Shirebrook with a whole tassel of people. Some slaves captured from Mystria, some freedmen, some returning Eridonians, and a handful of Dracissians to resettled the city of Shirebrook. The man's name is Divin Armstrong. He is a wizard known for, let's say, not a small amount of power. His great claim to fame, aside from whatever he's done over the course of the war, and something he will will tell to anyone who will listen, is that he trained the young Imric McGarry, who now resides as king of Mystria.
Nice.
Now,
Well.
in reward for all his deeds, he's been handed the territory of Shirebrook and brought with him his slaves and freemen and whatnot to resettle the area.
So this is official. He's not just turned up there. He's been granted the land.
The understanding is he is granted the land if he can hold it and use it. And if he fails to revitalize the important port city, someone else will replace him.
Okay. So,
And
I remember when...
Oh,
cool.
we're not done. He has 2 assistants underneath him and 4 apprentices underneath that.
Oh.
So all told, 7 spellcasters, although 4 are very new. 2 are practiced, and he himself is, well, accomplished.
Okay. You know what spells he can cast?
I have heard the tales of a few of his spells, although the entirety of his spell book is not open to me.
He was always trying to teach Emmerich magic missile.
That's true, yeah. It's a bit of a shit teacher, to be honest.
Bad teacher or bad student?
Well, bit of both, maybe.
Yeah. Let me just quickly peruse.
God, he probably tells fucking everybody.
Oh, you know, I was Imric McGarry's teacher. He's only strong because of me.
Yeah, he'll learn everything he knows from me.
Fucking moron.
Neil, this isn't... I haven't watched that Dicing with Death campaign, but this isn't Ryan's Devon. That's from, like...
No, that's Devon. That's
from, like, well in the past.
Yes. It's,
Yeah.
A lot of names come up multiple times. This character
course.
was mentioned in Tombs of Scoria a few times. And I think
Alright.
at that time his name was pronounced Devon, but here we are in Eridon, so the pronunciation is a little different. So it's Divin here.
Divin.
David
okay.
Armstrong.
Yeah.
More like Divvy Armstrong. You guys don't know what a divvy is, but...
I have no idea.
Speaking
Like an
of,
idiot.
Armstrong
Like an
comes
idiot.
from the Patreon. So thank you for the person who donated to the Patreon. $50 to name their goddamn character.
Wow. 3 cheers for them. What's their name?
I'm getting their name right. Matthew. So thank you to Matthew.
Thanks, Matthew. So Divin knows many of the same spells that his pupil did. He's been seen to cast to let lightning spring forth from his hands,
Ah, well, okay.
and to hover above the ground as he pleases.
Like levitate or fly?
I'm not sure the difference between the two, but the description has been to rise up over the town and view over all that he needs. Don't know which one of those two it might be.
I don't know if we want to go here, Nick.
And she means lightning bolt. She doesn't mean shocking grasp.
If you can find a way to ask that in character.
How far can he shoot the lightning? You know, is it kind of like a up close and personal kind of situation, or is it a shoot you from halfway across the
It splits
town?
the land and rips through any enemies who may approach him.
Okay. I feel like I have enough information already about this guy to know to not go anywhere near him.
Well, he is mildly dangerous, they say.
What's he like though? You know, can he be reasoned with?
He's an older gentleman. He's seen much of the world. This is his final story. If he fails in Shirebrook, then that is the end of his story. If he succeeds here, then he will undoubtedly live out his last days in the keep, which is, not particularly well furnished. The slaves that he has brought work the land and the seas during the good weather at the appropriate times, and then spend the remaining times rebuilding roads and infrastructure. The keep in Shirebrook is still a burned out husk, and that is where he has made his lair. I think some of it has been updated, or at least doors replaced, whereas much of Shirebrook remains in tatters. They've spent a lot of time working on the road because Shirebrook is a very important port. It is the easiest, fastest, and best way to get supplies to Stromheim from any direction. Tassel, you must climb huge stairs and need to go through the canals, which are awkward and dangerous, and needs a good port, which you could do from half. It's a mess. Shirebrook, it's a critical port.
So they must have a harbor master then.
I do believe they do.
We love robbing the harbor masters.
We do, yeah.
Yes. And this Divin Armstrong is now a lord. He's now Baron Divin Armstrong. But being the wizard and mildly distrustful of all things physical, he does not have a retinue of knights. He has his apprentices and his assistants. Now, there is a sheriff in town who does keep with him a collection of second-level fighters to maintain peace in the town. But they are protectors of the open town, not so much bodyguards for Lord Divin Armstrong, Baron Divin Armstrong.
Now,
Yes.
Imagine if we stole Emmerich McGarry's teacher's spellbook. Do you know how much money we could get for that? The
You reckon?
King of
Yeah.
Drakis's teacher's spellbook?
Yeah,
It's got all Emmerich's spells in it.
well, I'm sure not all of his spells. I'm sure he's learned a little bit since leaving that guy.
I'm sure someone in Solemn, because they're at war, right? I'm sure they'd pay a fucking fortune for that. 50,000 gold?
All right, yeah, well, stealing spellbooks. It's sounds
he's
like
got
it's good money
apprentices,
if you
too.
can get it. Yeah.
I bet,
Thing is,
I
though-
bet the guy who, I bet the teacher, I bet he locks up their spellbooks every night so they don't steal it away, and we'll just get them all in one go.
Well, that's a good point. You know, like the spells are one thing, but it's the book itself, right, Barbara? That's expensive. You said that they have to do all kinds of weird shit with the paper and all of that.
Yes.
So we steal those apprentices' spellbooks.
And we steal his.
Well, but maybe his is harder to find. I mean, a guy like that's probably got multiple, but we could get these apprentices. I doubt they could even stop us, even if they did catch us.
Well,
We could get all 4 of them spellbooks.
and here's where a fun little twist comes in. I have been told that one of the slaves that Mr. Lord Baron Divin Armstrong has used to be one of the trap makers in Scoria's lair. I don't know
shit.
how true this is. I have a hard time imagining they have all survived their employment or the war. But even if it's a ghost of a tree, even if it's someone who used to be adjacent, I would
we get
expect
them-
the area to be unsafe.
Yeah.
Yeah, but imagine if we just get the trap maker and have him, we break him out and have him join us.
Man like that could live like a king in Stromheim.
Imagine the traps they could make for our lair.
I doubt we could afford it. I mean, if the Redcoats and the Demon Slayers found out that there was someone like that here, he'd be snapped up in days. That is
Well-
interesting.
Yeah, but we could have him live with us like a king.
Well, maybe, yeah, but it sounds like I think the point Barbara's trying to make here is that place is going to be dangerous. You think those traps in the Harbour Master's place were bad in Pittsburgh? God knows what they're going to have down here. Scoria's lair, you say? That can't be true.
That's what
Surely.
is said. I would think that might be maybe a little of a aggressive, offensive propaganda. Maybe he does indeed have some traps built, and he tells people that his trap maker worked in Scoria's lair. On the other hand, if he truly is the master of MrMouton, which all sources seem to confer upon, perhaps the great king has granted his former master some little kindnesses.
Mm-hmm.
Nick, we gotta rob this guy.
Sounds like a quick journey to TPK, though.
Eraser does lean in and be like, okay, look, we get the trap maker, we capture him, we imprison him, we may have him make traps for us. I got that bit, not a problem. This shooting lightning that splits the earth and blows people up, a little bit concerned.
Not so keen on that, yeah.
Also not keen on a man who doesn't think he needs men in plate mail to protect him. Little bit nervous about that.
A little nervous about
But
that
I'm not
too.
saying that we go after the wizard lord himself. Like, I think the spellbooks of these apprentices, they'll be nice and fresh. Brand new, in
And
fact.
just lying around unguarded.
Yeah, they'll be on the apprentices. But they're apprentices. They'll be going out into town. They'll be collecting reagents and shit, right?
So you're telling me that these spellbooks are super expensive, and yet a man just lets his apprentices walk around with them in the streets?
No way.
There's no way. Dude, do wizards need... Barbara Ann, how much does it cost? Does a wizard need a spellbook to cast his spells? Do you have to have it on you to make the magic? She holds up like 5 fingers, and he finds 5 gold in his pockets and slides it over, and she'll shake her head and be like, no, they need memorize their spells only in the mornings. They need not carry them on their person. A wise wizard would leave their spellbook in a well-protected place. However, those who travel abroad must keep it on their person if they wish to really memorize their spells. So, traveling wizards definitely have spellbooks on them. Domestic wizards, their books may be somewhere they can access once a day.
You think we could go to Thornwood, write a letter to this guy, and concoct a story that might get him to send one of his apprentices to Thornwood for some reason?
What if we use the LSS thing, the Lord
Maybe.
Marshal shipping thing?
Potentially, yeah. I mean, we could do something like that. We'd have to come up with a good story. But if we can lure one of these guys out onto the road, beat him
But
up a little bit,
imagine-
take his book, we'll be rich.
Imagine we're there for a month. Imagine what we could find out. I think we should go the whole way and try to steal the Imric's master's spellbook and his shit that Imric's probably given him.
It feels like suicide. Why?
Maybe we talk to the trap maker. He tells us what the traps are. We grant him freedom in exchange. We'll bust him out too. Then we won't have to worry about the traps. He could tell us the best way in.
I mean, it's a good idea, but what if we can't trust him, you know? Could blow the whole plan.
He's a slave. Why would he want to not work with us to get out?
Just by all rights, this guy's head should be rotten, like on his pike somewhere. He's alive, making traps in Shirebrook. He's been showing some mercy. He might feel some gratitude to that.
Or he might want a way out. Would you feel gratitude if you were made a slave?
I don't know. Maybe.
Yeah.
Well, you wanted to know about Shirebrook, a key port city currently very badly destroyed and in a state of repair. Certainly some money in there somewhere, but a powerful spellcaster.
What about
As a
the
minion.
harbour master? You think that if Shirebrook's such an important port, there should be more cash in their harbour master's office than in Pittsburgh? Although maybe there's something weird going on in Pittsburgh with Lord Marshal.
Perhaps. I couldn't say for certain. I would expect them to be on rough parity, maybe a little more, maybe a little less, depending on the specifics of the day and how things move
Yeah.
about. I know that there's a lot of effort being put into the reconstruction of the road so that Shirebrook can once again serve as a proper port for Stromheim. And a thing to consider, you may not want that road in disrepair. The road is repaired and all goes well. Well, that brings more commerce to the area, more lords and ladies from which to pilfer your goods. You may wish to play the long game. Let Shirebrook refinish the road. Mm-hmm. On the other hand, simple money is simple money. What should I say?
If Stromheim is such an important place in the Empire and Shirebrook is key to its prosper, maybe we could even get one of these wizards to come to Stromheim. One of the apprentices. We could forge a letter pretending to be someone important from the inner city. Send it down there to Devon. Say that we might need to speak to Malchus or another wizard. Find out a good
Percival waves his hand. If it's important, he's not going to send an apprentice. Right?
Isn't it good if he comes anyway? Isn't that even better?
Well, I mean, no. Look, you never send your apprentice to do anything that matters. Apprentices are for kicking and for telling them to shut the fuck up until they know what they're doing, right?
Yeah, but if you got to deliver something to Stromheim, something important, he's not going to necessarily. It doesn't have to be so important that he can't send someone in his stead, right? I mean, what's the point of an apprentice if you don't send them to do menial tasks for you?
To do the menial tasks around your office, get them to clean this, take out this trash, empty that bucket, organize these tools. They do the bitch work. Apprentices don't do anything of value. Now, maybe one of his assistants, maybe, but like.
I'm just saying, it's easier to kill a beast outside of its lair than inside its lair.
Eraser nods. That's true.
Well, if we could get him to come here for some reason.
Yeah, I mean,
we could set up a whole trap.
Pigeon, you've got eyes bigger than your pockets. I think Lord Divin here is maybe not to be fucked with too directly, but some of his minions, I think that's the higher risk return play. Risk adjusted return.
We could sell a story on that too. Imric Mergary was this guy's apprentice. Now the person spellbook that we have, that was the next up and comer.
Well, if you're just looking for easy spell books, there are other wizards in nearby towns that are not as strong.
Do tell.
Well, how much is a spell book worth to you?
I don't even know how much a spell book is worth.
It's a lot. For 50 gold? I'll tell you what I believe the easiest mark would be.
I think that's good. I think we should do it because we might also get a wizard out of this trapped. I'll hand over 50 gold.
I'm cautious about capturing a wizard and enslaving them. I don't think that's a good idea.
I hear you. I hand over 50.
Yeah.
Cauldron, just down the road. It may not have the greatest wealth, it may not have the greatest defenses of any kind, but there is a new young wizard. The young lad of one of the noble families there has been gifted and has just recently returned from Drekis, where he tutored under someone whose name does not matter for these purposes, and has returned home with a fresh spell book and very little proficiency. He's quite the talk of the area, a bit of a up-and-coming celebrity. He will certainly be missed by his family, who has spent a small fortune to educate and prepare him.
We don't have to kill the guy, we just got to take his book.
No, but they would also spend a small fortune for him.
Oh, ransom him. Back in Drekis.
We take his book, we ransom his ass.
Oh, that sounds like a good idea.
Sierra speaks up and goes, there was this one time I was on the road to Cauldron, back before Steel Team 6, and I got captured by some bandits in the Wisp Wood. They had a nice little hideout there. We got to knowing each other. No one wanted to pay my ransom. After a while of abuse, they just let me go because, well, they couldn't get any money from me, and I made good friends. But we could hide out in the Wispwood. Make a little hidey hole or a lair of some kind out there. Have them meet us in a place. Cool. Cut him free upon, receipt of payment, or let them know where he's tied up. Find some way. We need an intermediary. We need some way to do the exchange where we wouldn't be caught.
I'm sure, Eraser, you got an idea.
Eraser's like, I do. What we need a division. We need a thing where we can see each other, but we can't get to each other. We need to be able to, they need to be able to give us money and then not be able to get to our person. We need a river between us and them, and a boat that we can, rope across the river that they can put money in, and then we can rope it back to us.
Genius.
And then we'll just let the guy go. And that way we can just fucking run.
There's a river right by Cauldron, right? The Misty River.
There you go.
I'm bought in on this plan. Sounds
I'm
dope.
bought in on this one. Yeah.
Kidnap a wizard and ransom him back to his family. Steal his spellbook.
And take his spellbook.
Yeah, man, that's fucking cool as fuck. And we get to camp out in the woods and fight some fucking goblins and some shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. That's great. Hey, Barbara, can you give us the details on this guy's family?
Yes, but it will cost you.
We just need to know
who to send this lady,
just need to know who to send the letter to, You said he's a celebrity. Do you know what? Actually, we can ask someone else if you want to be like that about it.
Well, go ahead. Find out this information on your own.
You're acting crazy right now.
We've got some credit, right? We've got some credit, right?
Pay her.
Yeah. How much does she want?
God damn.
Wrong die.
I mean, at this, she's going to be fucking coins spilling out of her pockets as she walks out the fucking bar every time we talk to this person.
She works in an industry where when it rains, it pours. But she probably does have to spend a lot of money to get this information,
Yeah, her cost is worth it.
Mm-hmm. I will draw up some information between this session and next and hand it off to you. But right now, she tells you the details.
Yeah. Okay, cool. So how much do we pay her?
I do believe it is 200 gold.
200 gold to find out which family this guy's from.
But no, it's not just this guy's family.
She's gonna tell us a bunch of shit. Yeah,
it's going to be information about Cauldron, the family, the guy. This will save you weeks, maybe months of work.
Can I give her 2 topaz gems?
Wait, can we just not pay in silver?
Okay, but we want to use our gems when we can so that we get XP.
She doesn't
want gems.
2,000 silver is probably too much for her. She's an old woman. That's what?
What does she want?
That's 40 pounds. She'll take the gems. Are they each worth 100?
Each worth 100. She'll
take the gems. She will take them at full value.
Okay.
Perfect. So we'll give her 2 gems.
And we'll get 200 gold worth of XP now. 400 XP to split between 5 is 80 each, I think.
Thank you.
I'm getting close to a level.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not, but...
I'm 45948. 45948.
Okay. So we have this conversation with her about Cauldron and this guy's family.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think the last thing to do on the list was to buy some poisons from Sparky.
We want to do poisons, but we also want to talk to her about, and I'll bring it up.
And I got one other thing to talk about. You ever heard of a love potion?
Of course.
Or a monster's manual? These are some things that I'm looking for. And I'd pay good money to know where one is.
I cannot help you on the love potion front, although if I hear of anyone with one, I will let them know I have an interested buyer. You may wish to try your hand with Hudson as well.
Yeah, we've
You're
talked to her in the
familiar
past.
with her. Okay.
Yeah, we know Hudson, yeah.
She's my friend.
She may be able to help you with the love potion more than I. You said a manual upon the monsters of the land.
Yeah.
That is not something I have, nor something I know much about. But there is a person in the inner city, a sage, who may be an expert on this subject and may have many tomes at their disposal or much information.
Okay.
They don't let people like us into the inner city. So, unless he's going to come out here, that's not much use for us.
For 20
One day
gold,
we'll
I
get
can
in
give
there
you a
soon.
name.
Yeah, I'll pass over 10 platinum.
Philidius Felonius.
Philidius Felonius?
That's a
Philidius
crazy. That's a crazy name.
Felonius. She
That's a cool
is
name.
a sage in the inner city. She specializes in the natural world around her. Eridon,
All right.
specifically Arcadia, more general, the world, broadly speaking. And if anyone in Eridon knows anything about the nearby monsters, I would seek out Philidius Felonius. Otherwise, you would have to travel to Drekis and seek out someone in the Empress's employ. Perhaps someone in High Castle. Although, no, he's dead. Her library has been sacked. I'm afraid that the people in High Castle are currently beset by a crime wave.
Terrible
That's
thing, that.
Interesting.
Terrible thing.
I'd ask you about it, but we're not quite.
Are you at all interested in the temple?
I'm gonna read her face here.
The temple guardian's secret knock?
I am.
Shit, yeah, I forgot about that.
How much? Maybe we could exchange the crime stuff for this?
I'll give her the backstory of how I picked it up and then who I saw do it. And I'll tell her a little bit about the old man so she knows it's like credible.
Well, I will pay you 50 gold for what you have to say, and if it turns out to be extra valuable, you can trust me on my honor that I will increase my payments.
Deal. I tell her the secret knock and I do it for her. It's 1 break, 1 2 3 break, 1 accent on the 3.
And you tell her that this is a, changeable.
Yeah,
Lock,
I give her
yeah.
all of the information, but I tell her like it's only like a week old because I think
Yeah, it's a couple
I tell her
weeks
it's like
by
a
now,
week
but
or
yeah,
two
yeah.
old. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you tell her where you saw it and all these details.
I give her everything.
Yeah, she'll give you another 15 gold after you explain everything to her.
75 gold then.
65.
65.
Okay.
Thank you,
71.
Mr. Pigeon.
Of
That
course.
is very interesting. Very interesting.
Okay. I don't have anything else for Barbara Ann.
No, me neither. That's good, though. I'm glad that this next quest sounds great.
Last thing, Sparky.
Yeah.
Right.
Sparky,
And just a
the poison dwarf.
Reminder for everyone. Barbara Ann literally made us like 14,000 gold in total based on the information that she gave us. So
No.
even if we
14,000? No, we didn't get that much.
got like a fuckload, right?
What, last session?
Yeah.
That wasn't 14,000 gold.
We'll call it
Right.
7. I don't remember. I thought it was like a ton.
It was,
I thought it was like
a lot.
2,000 or 3,000, but maybe I'm wrong.
We'll call it 7k.
Thousands?
Even if we spend 200 gold on her or even 500 gold, she's fucking worth it.
Yeah, for sure. She can probably, I think a good thing that she can help us with, Neil, if you want to make note of this, on the ransom, is a good like amount to ask for, because
Mm-hmm.
that's hard to come up with, and it will rely on the wealth of the family and their perceived perception of their son.
Mm-hmm.
So that would be a key thing she can help us with.
Absolutely. Okay. Oh,
It's gonna be so cool. I can't wait to kidnap this kid. It's gonna be sick.
That's gonna be sick. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
badass.
And last but not least, we want to talk with Sparky, the poison.
Dwarf, please use his full title, Sparky the Poison Dwarf. It's funny because you think, I didn't know dwarves were poisonous. But that's not what it's. He's just Sparky. He's the dwarf who sells poison, but he's known as Sparky the Poison Dwarf. Yeah.
Let me roll another d10 to see how many days it takes for him to become available.
I imagine that Sparky the Poison Dwarf, Neil, dyes his beard green. Thoughts?
No, definitely not.
Oh,
Does
okay.
not want to stand out.
True.
Smart. What a smart
Yeah.
guy.
Yeah. Would have been cool though, wouldn't it? Would a really good advert.
So here's my question. Today is the 3rd of February in game. You don't know when Sparky is going to be available. It's not the very next day. So how long do you want to sit around waiting for Sparky versus moving on and just hoping that Sparky is here the next time you show up? Like, would you wait a week? Would you wait 3 weeks?
We need to
would you wait a month?
a few weeks anyways because we need to heal up
We need to get our daggers and stuff as well.
and our daggers and
Okay,
stuff.
if we want to wait
And
all
we
the
need
way
to,
to
and
our
we need
daggers,
to recruit Goat as well, don't we? So
yeah.
Yeah, I kind of want to give it. I think a good month break here is actually like a month time skip. If we can
but then we're
do
spending
it.
another 700 gold.
It's fine.
Yep.
We got a ton of money, and we're about to do another one.
Yeah, I mean, you make money so that you can spend money, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think a
That
time
poverty
skip here is
mindset.
nice.
But if we're just spending it to skip time, that doesn't do anything then.
Well,
The dwarves might start getting their stuff going. You know, I'm happy with skipping here personally.
Okay, yeah, I mean, that's fine. So we skip some time.
it'll be a month and a half before your March 11 is when your steel weapons are ready. So you'll have to pay another month's finances, and then you'll be halfway through a month when your weapons are ready.
Can we do a little bit of? Can I give Hudson some stuff to pawn off then and move it over?
Yeah. And I think in this month and a half, there's probably going to be some other things that happen. So you know what? Why don't we? No, I think let me just roll some dice for when the encounters go down, and then we'll decide if we can stop here for the day or if we should plow through.
Because we can plow through a little bit more. I might be able to get a level.
You keep coming back to the Grimly Gremlin to see if Sparky's there. You know, checking by every now and then. In the meantime, resting up, healing up. I take it you're not getting full bed rest with a doctor, right? Maybe
No.
just 1 HP a day, which is free,
Yeah.
or 2 HP a day with a doctor, which will cost, like a couple gold a day.
1
If
HP a
it,
day is
can
fine.
be, if it can be worked into our expenses, sure. But if not, then
No,
just
it
1
would be
HP a
on
day.
top.
Yeah,
Yeah.
1 HP a day.
Okay.
I only need 5 days, so it's not a problem.
I need like a week. Which is fine.
Need to roll
Is iron 2 gold or 2 silver? It's 2 silver.
2.5 silver.
Yeah.
It's a
No way
quarter
we got
gold.
7,000. There's no way we got 7,000 gold, but
Yeah, I might have been off.
it's like 16,000 silver, which is 1,600 gold.
We got 14,000 silver.
Okay.
So that's 1,400 gold.
Uh-huh.
We got 5,000 iron, which
Iron.
is another 1,000 gold. So we're at 2,400. And then we got 500 gold, so that's at 2,900.
Yeah. And we
then
got the 100 pounds, which was
yeah.
another like 700.
Which was another 700. So we got 3,600 gold, which
Yeah.
is enough for 6 months of expenses. And then we're already on to our next heist.
Okay. So, before Sparky, you pop in Grammar Gremlin from time to time looking for Sparky, asking if anyone's seen him. But this other day, late afternoon, sun's almost setting. It's like February 7th. It's a Sunday. You're at Rusty's Hook.
Oh, not the grimy gremlin.
Not the grimy gremlin.
No, you poke your head in. He's not there. You'll check back a little bit later. You're hanging out at Rusty's Hook.
How many days of HP have been given?
This has been 1, 2, 3, 4 more days.
Okay, so that's an extra 4 HP. So I'm at 32.
You're all just hanging out, doing your thing, just having a regular old good time like normal. Patricia's out there serving her patrons. Brom is hanging out by, helping move things around. Hudson's quietly tending to the fire. Everything is going pretty normal. You even see Terrapin hanging out with a group of, lowly shitheads that she's about to get to go do something super dangerous for her, because that's how it goes.
Smart. That's what she does. Yeah.
Yeah. But today, of all days, the door opens, and in walk 3 of the handsomest and most beautiful youths of Stromheim, resplendent in padded doublets with little iron studs throughout them, elegant rapiers with basket hilts at their sides, gentle caps, slightly tilted off their head like berets, and flowing red coats behind them.
Shit.
And the 3 redcoats step into this place, their hands on their hips.
So as this is happening, I'm elbowing the people next to me and pointing them out. I assume everyone's looking.
Yeah, I mean, the people are looking and trying not to look, and they're attracting some attention.
I'm gonna lip read them.
I look at Grom. Look at Grom. How's he reacting?
He's just rubbing down the table.
I'm gonna stare him down and just lip read him if they do speak.
Mm-hmm. They look around.
Are we on the second? Are we on the first?
You're on the ground floor right now.
We're at our table.
You walk on in. They walk on in. They kind of wade through the crowd. People, surprised to see them. Maybe a little bit intimidated by the fact that they've come here to Rusty's Hook. Find excuses to get out of their way, and they stride right up to the bar. Backs to you, facing Grom. One of them turns around, plants his elbows on the bar, gazes out across the field of people just to cover their backs. And the others are chatting with Grom, who's sort of nodding along. He holds up his hand and he squats down behind the bar, comes back up a moment later, producing a box, sets it down, kind of wipes it off with dust, and slides it across to the redcoats. They, in exchange, one of them reaches into a coat pocket, pulls out a small bag, not a coin purse, or if it's a coin purse, it's like a little lady's coin purse that has a couple of highly valuable coins or something in it, and plops it on the table, takes off his hat, doffs it to the man, puts it back on his head, whirls around, and the redcoats stride out.
Wait, what day is this?
It's Sunday, the 7th of February. And as they stride out, they begin to sing a little song.
Because on the 10th of February last year, there were 30 redcoats at a bar celebrating something. And now the 7th of February, they've gone here to get something.
That's
3
weird.
days before that. I mean, I don't think we do anything about it.
No, I do. I go to the bar. After they leave, Neil. After they leave.
You find yourself at the bar with a whole crowd of other people who are all like, what they want, Grom? What's going on?
Yeah,
and everyone's crowding and asking Grom, and Grom's like, hey, I'm just serving the liquor here, okay? Anyone want a refill? You can get a refill. Anyone wants information about other patrons whose business is none of theirs? Fuck off. And the crowd slowly begins to disperse and break up.
It's pretty clear. Okay. I mean, I don't press it.
Okay.
I'll leave.
Yeah, it's interesting.
You leave the bar. You don't leave.
Yeah. I order a drink.
Right.
And I almost go to say something. And in fact, I'll just say I can't help myself saying something. I say, surprised you let folk like that in here, Grom.
We let you in here, didn't we?
Yeah, well, I'm hard-working, honest folk. Not like them fucking scumbags.
I've seen you lift a barrel. You're not soft in the hands, but you chose the easy life.
Well, whatever, but those red coats are a bunch of fuckers, and I don't like seeing them here. Your bar, Graham, you do what you want. I'm just voicing my opinion, okay? That's
You know what? Write down your
big deal.
suggestion. Put it in the suggestion box over there. He says, pointing to the trash can.
Thanks very much. Well, you know, I can't hold my tongue, but I won't hold it against you. Just, you know, another round.
Mm-hmm. He pours everyone around and then, you know, moves on with his next duty.
Yeah. I think I'll ask Bar Brown what's that about.
Yeah. Well, it takes another 5 days. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes, on the 12th of February, you can find Sparky. Once again, you poke your head down into the grimy gremlin. Someone says they just saw Sparky. He went out to take a piss. He'll be back in a little bit. And the party can enter the gremlin.
Praise Jaxel. Finally. This little fucker's here.
Time to buy.
All right. You settle down. Sparky comes back, you know, cinching his belt together. Comes back up to the bar, hoists himself up into the high chair, picks up his drink again. Big slurp,
You know, Sparky,
sets it down.
you're a hard dwarf to find. I've been looking for you for weeks. Where have you been?
Do I know you?
Dear Sparky, you've drunk of my wine and ate my food in my own house. Luther.
I'm so sorry. Look, she was just another woman to me. I didn't mean anything by it.
You old coot. I'm looking for your services, not that kind of service, you know?
Is there
Oh.
anybody else in this bar?
Poisons, Sparky. Malchus introduced us. A few months back.
There are 2 other people in this bar. Let me just do some
You know,
die rolls.
we live on the edge of Pittman territory, you know, near the abandoned zone.
Smart to say that, on the edge.
They look like warriors. Yeah.
I'm going to read their lips if I can.
You remember me, Sparky. We had a good conversation.
Ooh, unfortunately, they're just a little bit too close to read. He looks at you and goes, "Look, I had a lot of good conversations with a lot of people.
Whatever.
How could I possibly remember you?"
Well, nobody else seems to have any trouble remembering me. But I guess that's just dwarves for you, isn't it? You know, short memories.
Well, short tempers, short heights, short attention spans.
That-
Oh,
what'd
your
you-
dwarven racism's been going around.
You said it, I didn't say it. But anyway,
what'd you buy for me last time?
Poisons.
You gotta be more specific, sir.
It's, you know,
Ma'am.
to make people shit themselves. We put it in beer.
Oh, it's the wet bandits.
There
Who
you go.
could forget?
Well, we're
Oh,
still
yeah.
Team 6 now, but yeah, we want to buy some more.
Yeah, we're looking for, you know, I don't know if you got a list or something, but we're looking to avail ourselves of your services generally.
Let's go to a dark corner so we can whisper and hide our mouths from all these prying eyes, he yells out loudly. He seems a little drunker than the last time you met him. I think the last time you met him, he was like, he came to your house with a box and was like very professional. And
Yeah.
you've caught him in a moment where he's just sort of like letting loose.
That's fine.
But he heads over to a table, sits down, keeps his back to the rest of the crowd as Steel Team 6, Steel Team 5 gathers round. So, my friends, what are we looking for? More shit juice?
Something that we could slip into a drink that might incapacitate someone. The shitting thing could work.
Shit
Cool.
juice, sleepy juice,
Yeah, something like
killing
that.
them overtime juice.
Lots of...
Nothing that requires a weapon. Nothing that requires injecting. Something that you can eat or drink.
Uh-huh. Well. If we don't have quite a few things for you here. Now, you said maybe shit, maybe sleep?
Yeah.
Maybe kill.
What's the intended effect? We'll worry about side effects later.
Disable. I'm assuming if it's going to kill a fool, it's going to be more expensive. I'd rather go cheaper and just put the guy to sleep.
Yeah. I would think it'd be harder to find the sleeping stuff than it would be to find the killing stuff, to be honest.
Well, it's all
Well,
a little
not-
this, a little
not-
that.
Listen, Pigeon, neither of us are a dwarf, so we don't know.
He knows. He's the dwarf guy.
He's the dwarf guy. He knows about the poisons.
Do you identify as dwarf?
Do I
Sorry,
identify
Brian.
as a dwarf?
Just ignore him, Sparky.
not?
These
Yeah.
the kids these days. They're so woke.
Are you a halfling? I don't know how it works.
He spent a whole month going around saying he was an elf.
When the great Lord Sayor, god of all gods, brought down his hammer and split the dwarves and the halflings and the gnomes into their 3 respective races, we dwarves were the true and original, and we were his favorite, and we are the ones who stayed. Those layabout lazy halflings were kicked off to one side, and those talkative sons of bitches who don't know well enough to leave something alone got kicked off to the other side. Identify as a dwarf. What does identify even mean? You think I'm some sort of wizard?
No, that explained it perfectly. Now I know that the other twos are just inferior.
You don't have any halflings or gnomes in your party, do you?
No, we don't.
All right, good. Cast-offs. So I got 3, 4 sorts of things that could help you here. We got a nice toxin that might incapacitate or debilitate someone for, say, 20 to 60 minutes.
That sounds good.
Yep, we'll get
How
that.
long does that take to onset?
Hour and a half to kick in.
And it kind of like mess with the flavor of the drink, or
If it's got a strong flavor. It's very cheap though, extremely cheap, very strong flavor. You'd have to mix it with something equally strong, or it could even be baked into food.
Ooh, could we like carry a hard liquor, fake seal it, and then open it in front of people, and like that could be like our poison? I don't know.
yeah, okay.
Now this this is what you bought last time. This is the
Okay.
shitty
This
juice.
is this. Okay, yeah.
So
Right.
you can put it in the beer. Got it.
Yeah, you need it to be in strong beer, and you have to say it's a fruity special beer, but it's doable. And you need a lot to really work on a person. Now, if you want something that is less noticeable, we could go with there's some frog poisons that are very good at paralyzing people. But if you get the dosage a little bit wrong, you kill them. You know.
That's all right.
We don't mind the deaths. The frog
No, that's
poisons.
fine.
Good,
It's a
yeah.
question of cost for us, Sparky. We're not bothered about the collateral damage.
Oh.
If you understand.
Well, I've stashed it somewhere. I can't give it to you here right now, but it'd be 250 gold for a dose. It'd need only, you would need it to contact their skin in full, all of it, or they could drink it, or however. It's one of my better samples. Now,
how
unfortunately,
long's that
be
take?
like
onsets in just 15 minutes, very quick.
You see, the thing is, that might even be too quick. Because
well,
what I'm
no.
thinking, what I'm imagining here, Sparky, is that, the guy who mans the gate at a keep or something, and he's about to go on shift in the next few hours, and we buy him a drink at the pub. A few hours later, he's on watch on the wall, and he falls asleep, If it's 15 minutes, and the guy's going to be sleeping inside the tavern.
For this one, Nick, I would use it for if we were to go after that big guy wizard. We would do a whole scam of like you're a noble coming to like do trade or something like that.
I could see buying
dinner.
Yeah, I could see buying like 1 dose of this.
This would be like for a
Like
high
a special
important person.
Yeah.
I could see
But-
buying 1 dose.
Does it deteriorate, or could we buy it and keep it?
Would it last 2 years?
It will deteriorate.
Okay.
I wouldn't
say we
be
come back for
purchasing
it
the.
if we need it.
You should purchase it now, and then if it deteriorates, buy it again. Actually,
How long does it last?
it depends on heat and moisture and the container.
Okay.
Sparky, listen, we're not fools. Do we look like fucking halflings to you?
No,
We don't pull the wool over our eyes. You want
Alright.
to keep a good relationship with us. Tell us true.
you don't want that.
How long?
You don't
All
want
right,
that.
we don't want that. Yeah.
What you're looking for is a narcotic. You're looking for some milkweed extract or some mandrake root extract. That's what you're looking for. Now, the price is 10 to 25 gold, depending on the two of them. They
Not
each
bad.
take about half an hour to kick in. The milkweed will last a lot longer. They'll be out for, half a day. Mandrake root, they'll be out for about an hour or so. Mandrake root is safer, though. Very much less likely to accidentally kill your target. But it's sour. The milkweed is bitter.
Better for beer, then.
Bitter is better for beer, yeah. Well, I'd say milkweed all the way.
Milkweed, yeah.
We'll just buy milkweed and the shitting one.
The milkweed is 25 gold per dosage. I only accept gold, no silver. The duration is 6 hours. The onset time is about half an hour. A
Do you
little bit
accept
less.
Coin?
He narrows his eyes.
We got gold, Sparky.
Yes, I'll
Don't
take
worry.
iron.
Oh.
He'll take iron.
Okay,
But
I
if you
say
wanna
we
keep the
buy.
coinage, it's fine.
I say we buy 4 doses, 100 gold.
I
of
was thinking we
milkweed.
buy. I don't know why. I was thinking 7.
I think 4 is enough, right? It's not
I
going to
think
be.
4 is enough. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
4 doses
not
of that.
go over the top.
Now, if you
And let's buy some of the
really-
pooping one.
I'm going to
You
keep
really
all that.
want
Wait, why
this
do we
to
need the
work,
pooping
though,
one?
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because when we talk poisons, there's this thing called LDL, and that tells you, if you have a dose that is lethal, what it truly means is that it's a 50% chance for any given person to be killed by it. And when you're poisoning someone, sometimes 50% isn't good enough, so you need increasingly higher dosages to really make it highly successful. So if you want this milkweed to work, if you want it to definitely 100% work, you'll need 4 doses of it for one man-sized person. Halflings will take less, giants will take more, of course.
Ooh.
Okay, so maybe let's buy 12 doses then. That's
Yeah.
enough for 3 guaranteed.
That's fine.
Yeah.
On the other
Okay, so
hand, if
I'm
you
gonna-
just need a pretty good chance, they only need twice as much.
I
think-
understand. We'll take
Yeah.
12 doses.
So that gets me to my number of 6 at a minimum. So I'm happy with that.
Okay, so that's 25 gold per dose.
300
so
gold.
Mhm.
Do you want to do
300 GP.
gold or do you want to do iron here? Just up to you. I don't care.
I say we just do gold.
Sure. I'll take it off the character sheet.
300 gold?
1,
Okay,
2,
you have
0 minus
12
300.
doses of milkweed.
I've got that on my sheet.
Okay.
Will
Now-
he take the gems too? Out of curiosity.
Yeah, if
The
you don't
amber
mind
gem?
waiting a couple days, he'll need to get them verified by someone else that they are what they say they are. He's very cautious.
Cool. We'll do that. Is that cool, Nick? 3 amber
Yeah.
gems. I'll
Sure.
do 3 amber gems, so we're down to 2. And then can we do the XP?
Yes. How much
So
amber
600
gems?
divided by 5 is 120 each. 300.
Though
Three
they're
amber gems.
Okay, cool. So that's
120 XP each.
300 from the gems, but you also you gave another gem to the old lady. You gave her 200 GP worth of gems. So that's 500 times 2 divided by 5. So everyone should get another 200 XP.
4, 5, 4, 8 plus 220. 4, 6.
Okay, Neil, this I have not written it down, but I'm assuming the information about the milkweed I can ask you about.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
So you have
And
the
I'm
12
assuming, yeah, I've got it on my character sheet. The milkweed's not going to go off. Is that correct?
He says that it will go off, but it usually takes about a month unless you keep it in a warm place.
It's actually not very long. Maybe we shouldn't be buying this much now. I think maybe we should save
We should
it.
buy it on our next heist if we're going to use it. So when's our next heist?
I mean, you plan to leave in a month, so you could just
Yeah.
buy it, 6 weeks, 4 weeks from now.
We'll give him the gold now, and then he'll give us the milkweed when we're needing it.
Okay,
Yes.
can we do that? Yeah,
That's
can we do
fine.
that? Okay.
Yes.
Put it on layaway.
So I'm gonna put owed milkweed and not have any weight. But I'm just gonna put 12 doses. Yeah, so I know that.
I'm going to
right?
go commission at some point a box, Neil. So I want the box to be the jewelry box, to where at the top is the jewels and the gems, and they don't move around. I want them to be perfect, so I'll spend real money for this. But I want a false bottom where we keep our vials of poisons.
Okay.
Why do you want to keep them in a box?
just seems a nice place to keep them all together. Elsewise, you're gonna have like little vials in your backpack.
Yeah, you don't want
around.
the vials of poison to accidentally break. Nice sturdy container, good for everyone.
And then we have a false bottom at the bottom for things that we need. Like, let's say we go to someone's house and we steal their ring. You could just put them in the false bottom.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Jewelry box with the false bottom. You have like a month before you're going to take off, so you can just... Why don't you shell out... This is going to actually take someone a month to make because crafting by hand is hard. What does a carpenter make in a month? Plus... materials, carpenter.
I want it to be made out of like really nice materials too, because I want it to be like if I go up to the fucking queen, I want her to be like, oh, these materials are from the bogwood trees and blah blah blah, and then I'll talk about the fucking material and shit.
Well, if you want fancier, nicer materials and better inlays, you can absolutely do that. The cheapest you can get this box, if you just get it made out of like the most ordinary common materials, is going to be about 45 gold. Sure. And then the price goes up basically as far as you want. If you want to get it made out of mithril, in theory, you could do it. It would just take time and money.
100 gold, Nick?
Sure, but we're spending a lot of money here because we're about to get hit for another 700 gold on expenses as well.
But we're about to go do a big heist worth minimum 5k. And the ransom for the guy. Yep. So yeah, I shelled out 100 gold, Neil.
Okay.
Okay.
You can go ahead and add
than most people's worth. Yeah.
Yeah, this is a nice box. It has silver clasps on it, and it has multiple. How do we say this? The wood for the main box comes from a sequoia tree, which are only found in the heartland of the Elven Forest and has not been available for logging for extremely long times. But some intrepid Mystrian adventurers went into the abandoned Elven Forest, lost a couple of people, chopped down a fucking giant sequoia tree, quartered it up nice and good, and hauled off some of that wood, which has made its way all the way out here to Stromheim.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right. Cool. So we call it here?
Call it here. When we come back, we'll just roll for a couple more encounters over the time that you're waiting, just to see if anything else fun happens in the city. And then you'll get your weapons, your poisons, your box, and you'll go off and capture a youth.
And our information about that guy.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Well, that's it
next
for today's
time,
session.
we're kidnapping some kids. It's always
Kidnapping children. I love role-playing kidnapping children. That's
fucking great. Yeah.
my go-to. That's what they pay me for. Oh no, what have I done?